is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Southwest.
It's another beautiful sunny afternoon here in Las Vegas. Cashman Field, we're just a stone's throw north of the famed Las Vegas Strip. This afternoon, the Rangers roll the dice and try to hit a jackpot of their own as they take on the Chicago Cubs. And welcome in, everyone. Along with Tom Grieve, I'm Steve Busby. Glad to have you along, and a very happy St. Patty's Day to all you revelers out there wearing the green. Rangers hope to wear a little green, too, because yesterday left me feeling kind of sick with that 5-1 loss. Today, though, another big outing. Robbie Ross on the hill.
Yeah, you know, Robbie Ross, Buzz, had a terrific year last year in relief. He's trying to transition back into a starter. Struggled a little bit in his last outing. Walked 3 guys, in his words, didn't have his best stuff. He's going to need to have his best stuff today, especially to the left-hand hitters. The wind's blowing out to right with a really stiff breeze, so keeping it down and away to the lefties is going to be important today.
There you go, and I'm sure Robbie knows enough about pitching to already check the flag and see which way that thing's blowing. That's the first thing you have to do. Well, the Rangers will try to get an even split of this 2-game series. Coming up next for you on Fox Sports Southwest, the Rangers and the Cubs from Las Vegas.
Saturday at 3 on Fox Sports Southwest.
Texas Rangers baseball on Fox Sports Southwest is brought to you by Medical Center Arlington. Proud to serve as the official hospital of the Texas Rangers. By Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's. By Captain Morgan. To life, love, and loot. Raise a glass, always in moderation. And by Ozarka brand, 100% natural spring water. The official bottled water of the Texas Rangers. Yeah, a lot of sun again today, as Tom mentioned, though the breeze picking up out of the northwest. It's blowing from the left field corner toward the right field corner, keeping those folks nice and cool. But it'll make this ballpark play rather small out there. About 15 to 20 miles an hour is the forecast for the wind here this afternoon. Now, Cholula brings you the Rangers batting order this afternoon. Elvis Andrus leads off. He's the DH. Craig Gentry is in center field. Mitch Moreland bats third, plays first. Cleanup hitter is the catcher, A.J. Przynski. Got Hervis Solarte is at second base. He bats fifth. Julio Bourbon is in left field. Batting seventh, playing right field, Mike Holt. And Joey Gallo, the native of Las Vegas, plays third base, gets the start today. He'll hit eighth. Hanser Alberto is the shortstop, and he is batting ninth. And the Dairy Queen pitcher today for the Chicago Cubs, Carlos Villanueva, who is no stranger, having pitched in Toronto the last couple of years. And Rangers have seen him in a Blue Jay uniform, but this is the first opportunity in a Cubs uniform to face him.
Yeah, Villanueva is a solid big league pitcher. He can either start or relieve. Last couple of years, he's had about 15 or 16 starts and maybe 20 relief appearances for Toronto. Pitched a good game against the Rangers last year. He's got a good assortment of pitches. Not an overpowering guy, but he knows how to pitch. Mixes up his pitches well. And as we said about Robbie Ross in the open to the ball game, he's going to have to be careful where he locates his pitches today because the wind is blowing stiffly out toward right field.
Being away of signing in the offseason as a free agent, 2-year contract with the Chicago Cubs, hoping to become a mainstay of their starting staff. And let's take a look at the defense that will back up Villanueva today. And outfield of McDonald in left, Harrison in center, and Shearholtz in right field. Brad Nelson gets the start at first. Barney and Castillo are the middle infielders for the Cubs. Luis Valbuena at third. And J.C. Buscan is the catcher, handling Carlos Villanueva. Ron Washington's ball club, after losing here yesterday and winning in surprise against the Dodgers. 4-0, the Rangers shut out the Dodgers at home in surprise yesterday. So a split for the day. They remain a 500 ball club at 10-10 and 2 ties. And the Cubs come in at 10-12 for the spring. Mike Maddox will be with us later on during the ballgame. We'll talk to Mike a little bit about Ranger pitching for the spring training and how the outlook for the start of the year has shaped up to him. Gary Pettis, of course, the third base coach to Wash's left. Umpiring crew this afternoon, Scott Berry is going to be calling the balls and strikes. Kerwin Danley will be at first. Dana DeMuth at second, and Adrian Johnson is over at third. So Elvis stepping in, handling the DH chores today, getting ready to start things off. 77 degrees under cloud-free skies, wind out of the north at 17 at the moment. Rangers spring training game number 23 is underway. Ripping a miss, and Elvis down to the count 0-1. Elvis, a good spring going so far. 346 the average. 9-game hitting streak during the Cactus League play. Well, he has been something. Home run, 3 driven in.
That's it.
1 ball, 1 strike. Elvis, of course, spending some time away with the World Baseball Classic team from his home country, Venezuela. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
You know, Villanueva is a guy with out of plus fastball, borderline average fastball, but he still gets his share of strikeouts. Last year he had in 125 innings, 122 strikeouts, just about a strikeout per inning, which shows you that he can locate his fastball, and he probably has a really good command of his other pitches, changeup and breaking balls.
Breaking ball stays high. Yeah, and there was a lot of talk before that trade was made with Miami by Toronto last year about why would you not want to sign Villanueva. He really was probably their most consistent pitcher throughout the year. They had a lot of injuries, granted, but of course the Marlins made that trade, and Johnson and Burley went up there. And Elvis continuing his hitting streak. He adds 1 more to it with that leadoff single. So exactly like he did yesterday. Andrews singling to center to get the proceedings underway here this afternoon.
Change up right here from Villanueva. Elvis is going to hit it toward the end of the bat. Bat's going to break in half, but he locates that soft line drive very well up the middle to get the Rangers started. Trying to put together a few hits, score some runs early in this ball game. Runs were tough to come by yesterday.
Let me correct one thing I said. I believe I said Elvis had a 9-game hitting streak. He does now. I guess I was. Maybe I better go get the lottery number myself. I'm able to see that well.
You already knew what was going to happen.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Obviously, that didn't work last night with the slot machine, so I'll leave that alone today, too. Craig Gentry checking with Gary Pettis down there. Rangers' new third base coach this year. He and Dave Anderson, Gary Pettis and Dave Anderson, exchanging positions. Andy over there at first base this year. Toss to first, and Anders back. And Ron Washington, as we mentioned yesterday when Elvis led off the game with a base hit, Ron really wants to see the ball club get back into the aggressive base running mode that they had year before last. And Elvis a big part of that if he can get things going. He's staying put, and Gentry takes outside, makes it 1-1. Craig's squaring around to bunt. There's Gary going through the signs. Pettis, of course, a great base runner in his own right as a player. And Dave Anderson, a very good middle infielder for the Los Angeles Dodgers for a lot of years. Villanueva set. Short lead for Enders. He's not going anywhere, and the pitch is a little bit high as Gentry able to pull the bat back. And Boscan asked the home plate umpire, Scott Berry, to see if he can get some help as to whether Gentry got the bat back in time. But first base umpire Kerwin Danley, see how he pulled that bat back in time. That's not Kerwin Danley down there at first.
No, they mixed the umpires up on us today, so I'm just going to call first base, second base, third base umpires.
DeMuth, I believe.
He was supposed to be at second.
Maybe didn't want to run that far.
I noticed in one of the spring training games, the umpires moved around a little bit. They didn't just stay at one spot during the game, so maybe that's what they're doing.
Yeah, you're right. I noticed that too.
Tim McClellan started out at second base the other day, and next time I looked up in about the fourth inning, he was over at first base.
3 balls and 1 strike the count. Villanueva ready. Pretty good lead for Elvis. Looks like he's going to be going. He's on the move. The pitch is buttered down the third baseline. Off the field it is Villanueva. Quick throw, and they get Gentry. So kind of a bunt and run, and Craig felt he had a good one to bunt and didn't quite get it toward the line enough, but it works as a sacrifice. 1-3 on the putout, and in the scoring position goes Elvis Andrus. Something Elvis was unable to do yesterday in that first inning. Get to second base, get himself in scoring position. Now it's up to Mitch Morley. Mitch having a real good spring. He has turned it on lately. A .333 average with a couple of home runs. 8 driven in. Eight RBI lead the Ranger ball club this spring. Medusi also has 8. And those two out in front of the pack. 1 ball, no strikes. Rangers in 22 games this spring, averaging just about 5 1/4 runs per game. That, as we mentioned yesterday, after a very slow offensive start. Slow offensively and slow record-wise, too. They got up to an 0-5-1 start. And just had trouble in swinging the bats. Yeah, come to life lately. Pitch inside. It's 2-0 down a pitch.
There's some good signs yesterday back in Arizona in the pitching department, too. Matt Harrison had 5 strong innings against the Dodgers. Josh Lindblom, Jason Frazier, each had nice innings.
Dodgers only able to get 2 hits against the Ranger hurlers through the complete game. 2-0 pitch. Pretty good changeup. Here's the changeup you were talking about, Tom, in a fastball count.
Yeah, and that's why he's as effective as he is and gets the strikeouts that he does, because he doesn't have to throw his fastball in a fastball count to throw a strike. He's got a lot of confidence in that changeup. And he throws a lot of changeups throughout the course of the game.
Mitch fouls it out of play to the left. Count is even at 2-2.
If you reverse those pitches and throw that 88-mile-an-hour fastball when the count's 2-0, you're going to be in deep trouble. But after the changeup, now the batter's thinking, whoa, that's a pretty good pitch. I was way out in front of that. Next thing you know, that 88-mile-an-hour fastball sneaks right up on you, and you're a little bit late on it.
You throw that 88-mile-an-hour fastball on 2-0, you don't have to worry about the next pitch of that hitter most of the time.
No.
Two balls, two strikes, one out. Just underway here at Cashman Field in Las Vegas. Now Boscan going to go out and talk to Villanueva. And again, we talked about it a little bit yesterday. Spring training, you guys, that, especially the veteran pitchers that are working on other things besides just what they would normally do in the regular season. And catchers have a tough time, unless they work with them a lot, knowing what they're working on that particular day. Could be a changeup, but things aren't the same. So a catcher's calling the normal game and gets shaken off a lot because a starting pitcher's working on something else. Breaking ball, that just stayed high. And the count is full to Mitch Moreland. So Mitch trying to get Andrews home or get aboard himself. A.J. Pierzynski, major cleanup man, the catcher standing in the on-deck circle getting ready. Moreland had the only RBI in yesterday's ball game. Phew, that one foul over the Ranger dugout on the third base side. Well, we'll try the 3-2 pitch again. And again, Villanueva going with an off-speed pitch on 3-2. Let's see if he does what you talked about before, Tom, after an off-speed pitch coming back with a fastball.
Yeah, make it look a little sneaky.
That ball is belted. Standing in his tracks is Shearholtz. Goodbye.
Well, he did, but it didn't sneak by Mitch that time. He threw a belt-high fastball 3-2, and that was gone the second it made contact.
Mitch Moreland, now wind or no wind, that ball is out of here no matter what. His third spring home run. He now has 10 RBI, and the Rangers lead 2-0.
Batting fourth.
Villanueva has given up 3 home runs in 8 innings so far this spring. Pretty small sample. He has struggled, though, so far to keep the ball in the ballpark, and that fastball pretty much was right down the middle of the plate. That fielder's not even going to take a step after that ball. Nate Shearholtz. Love to be able to see where that ball landed. There's a little bit of a berm right behind the fence with trees. Behind that, I'm not sure what's back there, but that was well beyond the berm.
Now Pierzynski looks at the 0-1 pitch. Is high and away to even things up. Had a ball and a strike. And that's where it left the premises. Headed over those trees, I think it was.
Over the last couple of years, very few Rangers have hit more long distance home runs than Mitch. Talking about ones over 440 feet. Had the one in Toronto, in Seattle, I mean. On a night game with a wind blowing in on a cold night. Then he had the one in Tampa Bay. No telling where that ball went. It got lost up in the catwalk somewhere in right field. And when he gets a hold of one, he can hit him as far as anybody.
2-2 the count to Pierzynski. That ball's rifled foul down the right side. Moreland's home run, by the way, the 21st hit by Ranger batters this spring. Seattle leading the Cactus League, or leading all of spring training actually with home runs there. 41. Seattle is just pounding the baseball. Ground ball the other way. That's through. By the dive of Valbuena. And Pierzynski, a turn at first, is aboard with a one-out single.
It's going to be a high pitch inning unless he gets a quick double play. Villanueva's throwing a lot of pitches.
Pretty good job of hitting by Pierzynski, just going with the pitch out away from him. That's one thing that Ranger fans are going to like about AJ is that he's able to use the entire ballpark. He's not just a pull hitter. The one on, still just one out. Yangervis Solarte, Ranger second baseman, steps in. 1 ball, no strikes. Solarte at 273. A home run this spring, 5 driven in. There goes Pierzynski, and the hit and run is on. It's popped up. Going out is Valbuena, the third baseman. Still going at it. The wind has it. And he stays with it nicely. Makes the catch in shallow center field. Valbuena. I'm going to say something to Starlin Castro, the shortstop. Say, hey, look, the wind's blowing toward you. I don't care if you cover the bag or not. I got to run 90 yards to go get that ball. Help me out.
I don't think either one of them had the slightest idea where that ball was going to end up. It started out pretty much to straightaway shortstop and ends up almost in center field.
Good job by Valbuena to stay with that. So that is out number 2, and here's Julio Bourbon. Oh and 1. Bourbon came into yesterday's ball game, went 0 for 1. 257, as you see, the average for Julio this spring. Locked in that three-way battle for center field spots with Greg Gentry and Leonis Martin. Bourbon here down on the count now, 0-2. Toss to first, and Pierzynski dancing back onto the bag and covering his head up. Yeah, the 0-2 pitch. Rifle to right center field. That is down, and it's plugging the gap, go to the wall. Pierzynski chugging around third. He is being waved home. Bourbon not stopping at second. He is in with a slide at third, and RBI double the Rangers lead 3-0 as Bourbon triples to the gap, and Pierzynski scores.
Yeah, AJ was motoring around third base and had the luxury of being able to watch the ball and know that he was going to score without having to slide. And Bourbon, who's having a pretty good spring himself, I think, in other years with a better opportunity, everybody be really happy with him as your center fielder. He's been there before as a starter. He's playing well in spring training, but unfortunately, as far as Julio's concerned, Greg Gentry's playing great baseball. Leonis Martin's playing great baseball, and opportunity that's been there the last couple of years may not be there for him. But the better you play, the better chance you've got of playing somewhere. That's right. For sure.
That's right. Here's Mike O. Ripping a miss. He's down in the count 0-2. For Bourbon, by the way, that was his first triple of the spring, and half of Bourbon's 10 base hits now have gone for extra bases. 1 triple and 4 doubles. 0-179 hitter at the plate, the 0-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes is Villanueva. Struggling to get the ball down to Olt. Off the end of the bat towards short. Castro scoops one up nicely, and an off-balance throw against Olt. Side retired, but Rangers come up with 3 runs on 4 hits. They leave one, the big blow, Mitch Moreland's third spring home run. Cubs coming to bat in the bottom of the first. Rangers 3, Chicago nothing on Fox Sports Southwest. Rangers jump out with 3 in the first inning. Now the Cubs coming to bat, and Cholula brings you the Chicago batting order this afternoon against Robbie Ross. Luis Valbuena, the third baseman, leads off. Darwin Barney is at second base, hitting second. Shortstop and number 3 hitter, Starlin Castro. Nate Schierlos is in right field. He bats cleanup. Scott Harrison, the center fielder, bats fifth. DH DeHonor Navarro bats sixth. Darnell McDonald is hitting seventh. He's playing left field. Brad Nelson, the first baseman, is back. And J.C. Buscan, the catcher, bats ninth. And our Dairy Queen, the starter for the Rangers, is Robbie Ross.
Robbie Ross with a 3.86 ERA this spring. In his last spring start, he gave up 3 hits, 3 walks, 2 runs, and 2 2/3 innings. Prior to that, he pitched very well. Only walked 1 in 9 innings prior to that. But Robbie, after that start, said he just didn't feel it in that start. And hopefully this will be a good start for him to bounce back, throw 4 or 5 innings, and keep the Cubs off the scoreboard. Be right where he wants to be.
Luis Valbuena taking that knee-high strike. The count is even at 1-1. Valbuena, who got the start yesterday at shortstop. A rip and a miss at a 92-mile-an-hour fastball from Ross. Valbuena, a home run and 2 driven in. Robbie Ross, the 23-year-old out of Kentucky.
I'm sure if you asked Robbie if you want to start or relieve, he would say he would rather start. He always says, I'll do what the team wants me to do, which is great. Last year it was to relieve. And after being a starter throughout his young minor league career, he did a great job as a reliever. He's groomed in the minor leagues and growing up as a starter. I'm sure that's exactly where he wants to be right now. And he's in there battling with 4 or 5 other guys for that role.
The 2-2 pitch. Out of play. Well, the one thing that Robbie's going to have to do a little bit differently, and we'll take a look, give you that opinion in just a second. The Ranger defense looks like this. Borbone, Gentry, and Old, left, center, and right. Moreland, Solarte, Alberto, and Gallo around the infield. Kaczynski behind the plate. And Ross on the hill gives up a leadoff single. Little flare out in the left field by Luis Valbuena. Valbuena battled Robbie Ross and came away with the flare to left.
A pretty good pitch. Not try to do anything other than pound him with a fastball. He threw a pretty good pitch away and hit it off the end of the bat. Served it into left field for a base hit, kind of like Elvis started off the first inning for the Rangers with a base hit off the end of the bat.
Valbuena with pretty good speed. Here's Darwin Barney. And he takes the first pitch low. What I was going to say about Robbie moving into the starter's role, the one thing we didn't see a lot last year from Robbie, because he didn't need it, was a good changeup. And typically a starter needs to have at least a serviceable changeup to go along with the fastball and some kind of breaking ball.
Yeah, he was pretty much fastball and I guess a cutter for the most part.
Occasional breaking ball. Yeah, but you really need to be able to change the speed a little bit of the fastball, and that's one thing I know Robbie has been working a lot on here in spring training. That's out of play to the right, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. And the same thing can be said for Alexi Ogando, too, moving from the bullpen back to the starting rotation. For most guys, especially the guys that throw late in the ball games out of the bullpen, changeup is, unless that's their out pitch, not really something they utilize a lot. Still 1 ball and 2 strikes to Darwin Barney. Could be a double play if that ball comes down in time. Nice job by Alberto, taking his time going to the bag. A 6-3 double play that erases the leadoff single. 2 away for Starlin Castro.
Batting third.
Oh, that's definitely to Robbie's advantage to be able to get ground balls. He did that well last year too. We've talked about the way the wind's blowing out, as it does sometimes. Pretty good shape as a pitcher if you can keep the ball on the ground. Matt Harrison does a great job of doing that with his sinker.
Although as hard as the infields are down here in Arizona and Nevada, I'm not sure that's a big advantage. The ball scoots through in a hurry.
You got to be able to do it when the bell rings, though.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no doubt about that. Castro having a great spring for the Cubs. Hitting .462 coming in. Watches that Robbie Ross offering. Dip into the inside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. Castro 1 for 2 in yesterday's ball game. And Ross ties him up with a good fastball to the inside corner. It's 1-2 now. Ross to the wind. Got him inside one more time. Well, that's one thing that Robbie Ross can do and needs to do as a starter also, that is really pound the right-handers inside to get them off the plate a little bit. As a reliever, you didn't have to worry about that quite as much because you weren't worried about setting them up for the second time at bat. But as a starter, you've got to be able to figure out a way to face a guy 2 and 3 times in a ball game. Towering chopper. There's nobody at first except for Starlin Castro. That's going to be a base hit, and well, he'd call a high chopper. That had enough hang time to be an NFL punt.
Yeah, that was a changeup that Robbie threw. I think the first one he's thrown today. Yeah, it did look like Castro was fooled by it a little bit. He just reached out, hit the ball right off the plate, and nothing anybody could do on it.
No, a couple of hits in the inning, neither one of which has been extremely well struck, but we got 2 outs, 1 man aboard now, and Nate Cheerholtz, the right fielder, coming to the plate is Starlin Castro, continuing to swing that magic wand in spring training. Good fastball to the outside corner. Ross not wasting any time between pitches. Well, he stays right on that pitching rubber. 0-1 pitch. Good rip and a miss. And Robbie out in front now on 2. And boy, at first blush, this outing by Ross significantly different than the last time out. He's really throwing a lot of strikes, and that's, I know, what Robbie wanted to focus on out here. Little bluff drives Castro back to first. The 0-2 pitch. Got him swinging. Well, Ross gets the strikeout. A couple of hits in the inning, but a double play takes care of one of them. Cubs strand a runner. We're going to the second. Rangers 3, Chicago nothing. On Fox Sports Southwest. Well, a quick reminder that most Tuesday Ranger games this season will feature a giveaway for the first 30,000 fans. And the new tradition begins April the 9th, Capital One Bank U Darvish T-shirt night. Texas hosts Tampa Bay at 7 o'clock. Reserve your seats now at TexasRangers.com. 3-0 Rangers as Joey Gallo starts things off. He's the number 8 hitter in the Ranger order today. Gallo had his first official spring training hit yesterday. Came in late in the ball game as a replacement, getting in front of his hometown crowd, and he laced one to dead center field that went off the wall out there about 6 or 7 feet up, 433 feet from home plate. 2-1 the count to him here. Gallo, a third baseman by trade, really showing a lot of power. He rips that one down the line, but foul. Last year, he virtually rewrote the record books in the Arizona Fall League. Or I should say the Arizona Rookie League down there. He had 18 home runs in 43 games after he signed with the Rangers. Went on to Spokane and hit 4 more. So 22 home runs in just over 200 at-bats in his first go-around of professional ball. Is that a pretty good first impression?
I'd say it's a really good first impression, no doubt about it.
Gallo, a 19-year-old from Henderson, Nevada, right here in the outskirts, takes it high, ball 4, and he is aboard with the leadoff walk. And here's that shot that Gallo hit yesterday to dead center.
The wind yesterday was blowing, I think, more toward first base than out toward right field. So I think the wind actually held that ball up. And it had a good chance to hold it up because it was high, sky-high fly ball. So without the help of any wind, in fact, probably hurt by the wind, he still hit it 430 feet. I'd like to see where it would have gone if the wind was blowing out towards center field.
Hands are Alberto, lines one to left. McDonald moving to his left, makes the grab. Back to first is Gallo, so Alberto lines out. One away, back to the top of the order for Elvis Andrus. I know you and I have sat here and marveled watching Joey Gallo in batting practice. And this is a pretty good place to put on a show. But this is not a strange park to Joey Gallo. Played a lot of high school games in this ballpark. And I think as a freshman, I was told, a freshman in high school, hit a couple of home runs here, which is pretty good. Snap throw to first by Villanueva, and Gallo diving back. Elvis singled to lead things off here this afternoon. Now a 9-game Cactus League hitting streak. Came around to score on Mitch Moreland's home run. Oh, and 1 the count. Elvis, the ripe old age of 24, starting his 4th major league campaign. Foul back. And the count now is no balls and 2 strikes. That his 5th major league campaign. I'm sorry, he finished 4 campaigns. And he has gotten better in each one. Last year, hitting .286. On base percentage right at .350. Snap from first, it is by the first baseman Nelson down the right field line. Gallo around second. He will motor into third. So the throwing error by Carlos Villanueva. And Joey Gallo all the way from first to third. He is 90 feet away now for Elvis Andrus to pick up with 1 out. Well, the throwing error by Villanueva.
Yeah, that ball, that wasn't even close. A little bit of an erratic day so far for Villanueva. Giving up some hard hit balls. He's walked the batter. He's thrown a wild pitch to first base. Infield in, trying to cut off this run. Rangers already have 3.
0-2 pitch. Held back. Elvis trying to increase his RBI total. It stands at 3 right now for this spring. good look at the infield with both Castro and Barney, the middlemen, up right at the cut of the grass. Check swing, and he went around. Home plate umpire Scott Berry said, I don't need any help making that call. And a big strikeout for Villanueva. Elvis couldn't hold up on the breaking ball. 2 away. Villanueva, that's his first strikeout of the afternoon, and a very good time for him to get that punch out.
I'm sure what Elvis will say after that at bat was he missed a couple of fastballs that he fouled off. Put himself in a hole where he had to contend with that breaking ball.
Craig Gentry taps one foul back to the screen. Gentry had a sacrifice his first time to the plate. Look at the numbers on Craig Gentry from last year. Played a lot of ball in center field for the Rangers in 2012. Now he finds himself down in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Gentry yesterday 1 for 3, scored a run, had that triple off the alley into right center field in yesterday's ball game. Oh, 2 pitch coming from Villanueva. Way high, and Loscan able to come out of that crouch quickly to snare that errant throw. It's one of those outings that come back in and manager and pitching coach say, well, you got your work in. Hopefully you're not in a situation like that trying to make the staff. They have to tell you that. Long look by Villanueva. Now Gentry tired of waiting, so he backs out. And the right-hander is ready. Gallo down the line from third. Breaking ball popped him up. Going out is the shortstop Castro, being called off by McDonald, who makes a running catch. And the side retired for the Rangers. No runs, no hits, a walk, and an error. They leave one stranded after an inning and a half. Rangers 3, Cubs nothing on Fox Sports Southwest. That's what I like about Texas. By Las Vegas. For all things Vegas, there's only one LasVegas.com. By Cholula, the flavorful hot sauce with the iconic wooden cap. By Capital One, the official bank of the Texas Rangers. And by the City of Surprise. Surprise Recreation Campus, the spring training home for your Texas Rangers. Back to the mound on a beautiful sunny Sunday afternoon. Happy St. Patty's Day to all of you wearing the green out there. Scott Harrison to start things off against Robbie Ross. And Ross fires a fastball for strike one. Harrison just 147 for the spring, but a couple of home runs and 3 driven in. Had that home run yesterday off Nick Tepish. And he waves and misses at a Ross offering. It's 0-2 this time to bat. Got him swinging. Ross going up the ladder, and Harrison got off a couple of rungs early. One gone.
Robbie's been able to mix in a couple of changeups so far. 85 or 86 miles an hour. His fastball's been 90 to 93 miles an hour. He got ahead 0-2 and just trying to throw one up, see if he get the hitter to chase it, and he did. 2 strikeouts in a row. Shearholtz and Hairston.
No, one gone. Deoner Navarro now, who caught yesterday's game, is the DH today, and he has a check swing strike. Is that the same idea, Tom, you were talking about before with being away with the changeups? The changeup making the fastball look a little bit quicker than what Ross just did?
Yeah, the first pitch he threw to Hairston was 86 miles an hour. I think that was a changeup. Mm-hmm. And then he was a little bit late on the next 2 fastballs. So, yeah, I think definitely if it's in the back of the hitter's mind that the pitcher has a good changeup, or in Robbie's case, just working on a changeup, just makes it that much more difficult to gear into the fastball. Without a changeup, it's a little bit easier for a hitter. I don't think there's any doubt that for a lot of hitters, the toughest pitch to hit is a good changeup. Mm-hmm. You look at the job that the Oakland A's young pitchers did on the Ranger veteran hitters last year, and almost every one of those kids had a really good changeup. Right. Parker, Straley, Griffin, Tommy Malone, the lefty. Yep. Every one of those guys had a good changeup, and they gave the Ranger hitters fits. Now, the Ranger hitters hadn't seen those guys a lot, but by the end of the year they had. And so in Robbie's case, as you said, Buzz, when you're facing a guy 3 or 4 times in a game, you have to have something to keep him a little bit off stride, and a changeup can do that.
And Deoner Navarro works a 1-out walk against Robbie Ross, so he is aboard. 1 away, and Darnell McDonald coming to the plate. So Robbie had back-to-back strikeouts. Shearholtz to end the first inning, and Scott Harrison to start the second broke that streak. And now McDonald hitting 167 will stand in. Way outside. It looks like Robbie's kind of lost his rhythm a little bit. See the pitches missing on the first base side of home plate. I tell you, probably has gotten his body out in front of his arm a little bit. That's one of the things in spring training that you really work on, is making the adjustment when you feel that as quickly as possible. Chopper foul. Every pitcher has adjustments they have to make from time to time, and the quicker you can observe when that needs to be done, the fewer bad pitches you'll throw because of a mechanical problem. 1 ball, 1 strike the count. Now it's 2-1. The hitters probably have the same kind of thing, don't they, Tom? You feel yourself a little bit out of sync?
Well, I was reading an article on Michael Young today, how well he's adjusting to life over in Philadelphia. And Michael said that last year his swing was out of sync the whole year. Yeah. And there's a guy with a pretty good track record of 2,000 hits and 200 hits in a season 8 or 9 times. And so when you see that, it tells you that anybody can get out of whack.
Standing around the batting cage, listening to various batting coaches talk to the hitters, there's always little things, little words or little phrases they'll say to a hitter to try and get him back to where he wants to be. That's up and in, and the count now is gone 3-2. The second straight hitter that Robbie Ross has gone to a full count. Darnell McDonald, the number 7 hitter, will be followed by the first baseman, Brad Nelson. Payoff pitch. We'll try it again.
Read another article the other day about Jason Hayward, the young star with the Atlanta Braves. Same thing.
That's flying down the left field line. That's headed into troublesome territory. Navarro steamrolling into third base as into second with the double is McDonald, and the Cubs now with runners at second and third and just one out for Brad Nelson.
That ball was hit so softly as a line drive. It stopped rolling before it got halfway to the fence. Like a chip shot to a green. Got the ball in on his fist and jammed him. Just a little blooper down the left field line. But Jason Hayward, he was talking about how he got into a bad groove and couldn't get out of it. And it took him all winter working 3 or 4 times a week on his swing to get back to where he was. And then half a season last year before it finally kicked in for him. And after June, he hit 21 home runs. Feels great going into spring training this year. So you think as a professional that you would never be in a position to have to worry about something like that. But it happens. Happens to the golfers. Happens to great golfers. Go 15 under 1 week and miss the cut the next week. But it really helps if you've got in golf a swing coach or in baseball a hitting coach who, as you were saying, Buzz, can notice all the little checkpoints in your swing, and if one is a little bit off, let you know it and get it back before it gets too far out of whack and becomes a problem. Right. Because as a hitter, a lot of times you don't know that you're doing that. Everything feels the same, just not really aware that you've done something a little bit differently. Yeah, then it's probably a little easier with the video that the guys, they can go in and watch and at bat right after it happened if they want to. Right. And that's, boy, that's exactly right. That's a great point, Tom. I would have sworn when I first got introduced to video and the importance of it in your own mechanics, I would have sworn I did things a certain way until I saw a video myself. Yeah. And I didn't. It wasn't anywhere close to what I thought it would look like. What it felt like to me was nothing what it looked like. And then I finally was able to understand what they were talking about. Yeah. But I would have sworn up and down that I was doing this. I was right on a straight line, and I was nowhere close. Just inside to Brad Nelson. He takes that pitch off the plate. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. The hitters are constantly fiddling with their stance, where their hands are. I remember Cal Ripken. Every time he'd face Baltimore, he'd have a different stance. Yeah. He's going to the Hall of Fame. Swinging strike 3. Big strikeout for Robbie Ross. Get that pitch down and in to Brad Nelson. Gets the punch out. And it's big because now there are 2 outs. Runner still at second and third. He really ties him up with this fastball on the inside part of the plate. So a strikeout, a walk, a double, and a strikeout. Robbie a chance to get out of this unscathed as he faces J.C. Boscan, the Cubs catcher. Outside corner for a strike. Boscan came into yesterday's ball game, went 0 for 1 in a reserve role. Limited appearances this spring, just a couple of RBI. 4 out of 10, the average. At 400. Big swing and a miss, and Robbie Ross now. No balls and 2 strikes. Robbie okays a sign, the left-hander from the belt. Well, excuse me, foul ball, and the count remains 0-2. Left-hander again to the plate. Little chopper slowly hit. Warland underhands to Ross covering. And Boscan is retired. And a good job by Robbie Ross at second and third. And 1 out. And got out of the jam unscathed. No runs a hit, 2 left. On to the third we go. Rangers 3, Cubs nothing on Fox Sports Southwest.
When you think about players in Texas Rangers history, who's the first player that comes to mind?
Obviously Nolan Ryan, for what he did in the face of kind of Texas baseball, not only the Rangers, but Texas baseball in general.
Okay, let's shift gears a little bit. Do you have a favorite charity, and can you tell us about it?
I've never really focused on one thing. Anything with kids, obviously, and then the military is obviously the other big one. I've done a lot of stuff with the Wounded Warriors and a bunch of kids in children's hospitals around where I'm from in Florida. So those are probably the two main things.
A little bit about A.J. Przinsky, new to the Texas Rangers. He'll be behind the plate this season, and we want you to see him at Rangers Ballpark in Arlington. For tickets, be sure to go to Texas.
Welcome back to Las Vegas. Glad to have you along. 3-0 Rangers on top as we head to the top of the third. Joining us now, a guy that, as all coaches are in spring training, but this particularly a busy spring for Mike Maddox. Mike, thanks for joining us, Rangers pitching coach.
Hey, thanks for having me on, guys.
Busy spring for you. A lot of things going on. A lot of spots, especially in the bullpen, up for grabs, if you will. Competition pretty hot and heavy. How have you seen things breaking out so far?
Well, I've seen a lot of guys go out there, really, make a showing for themselves and putting themselves on the map. Seen other guys, really step up from where they were last year. Seen other guys kind of tread water and really not making a move. So, some guys are going to get passed up. Other guys are going to solidify their position. But, we still got another 10 games or so, and it's wide open yet. I would say that Michael Kirkman's really stepped up and done a nice job. And, some guys out of nowhere. Joe Ortiz has stepped up, made himself be known. Corey Burns has done real well. Colin Ballister has shown flashes of it, as has Josh Lindblom has shown flashes of it. And we're looking forward for this thing to play out.
Our Papa John sounds of the game with Rangers pitching coach Mike Maddox. And Mike, an interesting competition, a swing competition, if you will. Robbie Ross and a couple of others in competition for that number 5 slot, and also for the makeup of the bullpen. It has a big bearing on that too.
Much like a couple years ago, we had Alexi Agondo come off an all-star campaign as a starter. He ended up in the bullpen because it made us a better team. Is that going to be the same way with Robbie Ross? Well, we don't know. We're going to wait and see, but that's always in the back of our hats that, that can happen. But in the meantime, let's give him all the touches and make him a better player. Nick Tepish has done a nice job there in his outings that he's had. And, we still got Derek Lowe to stretch out a little bit here, and Kyle McClellan hit a little roadblock there, so that kind of pushed him back. But Michael Kirkman, we're going to stretch him out a little bit and see what happens there.
Mike, Buzz and I were talking earlier in the game about hitters and pitchers having to make mechanical adjustments, getting a little bit out of whack. When you have a pitcher doing that, do you talk about that during a game, or is that something that you only do on the side?
Well, I like to do it on the side because then we can't think about mechanics. I think if you do it in a game, you get a little distracted with it, and that's not what it's all about. It's about getting hitters out. But I do stress the idea of a swing thought, something that puts you in position every time, all the time, so that you can make that pitch. So, when it comes down to a straight mechanical, reminder is what I look for, and just give those to different guys, and it might be a little different phrase for each person.
Again, it's our Papa John sounds of the game with Rangers pitching coach Mike Maddox. Mike, another thing we were talking about with Robbie Ross especially, but it applies to Alexi and the other guys that have gone from the bullpen as Przinsky pops out. The need to use a little bit different repertoire from being a reliever, especially a late game reliever, as a starter. Is that a big adjustment for guys?
I think it is, because those guys know where their outs are. They know where their outs come from, and it's only one look. So when you're facing the guy one time, here's what I do, here's my out pitch, and that's pretty much, I'm going to throw the dice and take my chances with it. But as a starter, when you got to get a guy out 3 or 4 times, I may have to give him a different look to protect my finish pitches and my out pitches. But all of a sudden you realize that, hey, this is a pretty good pitch for me too, and this is a pretty good pitch for me as well.
And with Robbie, I'm sure one of the pitches he's trying to command is his changeup, and thrown several today. How is that working for him?
Well, that's one of the pitches that we're force-speeding with Robbie. It is spring training. There is competition out there, but we'd like to kind of alter the process a little bit, that he's going to throw more changeups than he's ever thrown in his life. He's going to throw more two-seamers than he's ever thrown in his career. So we're really trying to force the issue of, getting those arm side strikes, because he is so effective to his glove side.
A fly ball to center off the bat of Solarte, and that will do it for the Rangers. 1, 2, 3 inning, 2.5 in the books. Rangers leading 3-0 over Chicago. We're going to stay right here and visit a little bit more with Mike Maddox, if that's okay, Mike.
That's fine.
Today with Robbie Ross running into, for him, a little bit of a problem in that second inning. But you've got to be pretty happy the way he was able to bounce back and make adjustments for himself after that one-out walk to Navarro in the little blooper.
Yeah, it was kind of a bad walk that he gave up, and then McDonald hit the double, but it was actually like the fourth pitch he saw that was about letter high and middle in, So, being a professional hitter, once you see a pitch, 3 or 4 times consecutive, you can make an adjustment. So he did kind of put himself in his own predicament there because, the bad walk and then multiple bad pitches in a row. But he came up, got a big strikeout, and then threw that good jam shot in there on that righty to get out of the inning and post a 0.
Does it help you to have a guy like A.J. Pierzynski who's been around the block a few times and has worked with a lot of different types of pitchers, handling your staff?
I think it's invaluable. You take a guy that has as many games caught back there as he does. He's seen a lot of pitches, and he's seen a lot of batters. And oddly enough, A.J.'s got a pretty good memory on him, too. And he has a lot of read and react to the hitter's swing and how they're approaching their at-bats. So I think he's going to be an invaluable asset to the pitching staff back there.
All right, Michael, I appreciate your time. Thanks very much. We're looking forward to how this whole thing plays out. And 2 weeks from today, I guess we're going to have to make all the decisions you have going on right now.
Well, we keep waiting on the players to make those decisions for us.
All right.
Well, good luck with that.
Yeah. Thanks very much, Mike. We sure appreciate it. And speaking of Papa John's for us, the sounds of the game brought to you by Papa John's. We're going to have a little bit of, look at this, right behind us in the booth. We got Papa John's coming in here. Look at that. That huge piece of Papa John's pizza up there right behind us. That may not make it down to us, though. There's some people up there that really want to have a bite of that.
Only person I know that can eat a piece of pizza that big is Bill Jones. And he's not here today.
Bill's not here.
He's not here today.
Okay, well, I guess we'll have to double up on that and take care of it ourselves, huh? Oh, man. The things you see in spring training.
Oh,
there we
pizza
go.
Has a couple of real
Look
pizzas.
at this. Look at this. We've got some real pizzas here. All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
And
Buzz,
this. On our pizza, we've also got some Cholula hot sauce that we can put right on that pizza.
Oh, all right. Yeah, with the iconic wooden cap, too.
That's right. I'm not going to eat it during the inning, but after the inning, I'm going to load up one of those pieces. Let's see what kind we got.
Whoa, look at that.
A little pepperoni, a little ham, little green peppers and onions.
Wow.
With a little Cholula hot sauce.
All right. And you've got the original, and I've got the chili garlic.
Ooh,
so you'll be able to talk to people.
Garlic.
You'll be able to talk to people after your original sauce. I won't be able to get within 10 feet of somebody. That's okay, though. I'm going to be having some good stuff. Wow. That's going to be good.
Guys in the truck are going to be jealous. That's the way it goes, though.
Luis Valbuena. All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate
Piece of
that.
pizza.
Papa John's piece of pizza.
Someone else is going to get a piece, too.
Luis Valbuena starting things off. He is ahead of the count. 3 balls and a strike. Rangers on top 3-0. As we digressed a little bit from the ball game, but that's all right. We'll digress for food any time, won't we? Take a little time off for this piece of pizza here, the Papa John's. One gone as Robbie Ross gets his 4th strikeout of the afternoon. That's how the 3rd begins to unfold.
Yeah, some good stuff for Robbie today. There's been a couple of times where his command has been just a little bit off if you want to nitpick. But other than that, he's been pretty sharp. Trying to work in his changeup. And a really good fastball today. There's a changeup, 84 miles an hour.
That's the first pitch to Darwin Marney, the Cubs second baseman who grounded into a double play.
We were talking, Buzz, about how important it is for Robbie to be able to work into the right-hand hitters. And I think that's one of the things he did best last year was be able to pound the right-hand hitters with that hard cutter in on the fist. And if he can get to where he's comfortable with his changeup, making it tailed down and away, that combination is a pretty lethal combination to most right-hand hitters.
All right. 1-1 pitch low and outside, and the count moves to 2-1.
That's the two-seam fastball that Mike Maddox was talking about. Ball tends to sink a little bit more than the four-seam fastball. Get a lot of ground balls for that pitch.
To right field, Mike Olt drifting into the corner. The wind pushing that ball away from him just a little bit, but he's able to stay with it. And that is out number 2. For Ranger fans, the Rangers host the Los Angeles Angels on Sunday night. That's April the 7th. And the first 10,000 kids 13 and under will receive a Rangers batting helmet. That's compliments of CPI office products. Reserve your seats for opening weekend right now at TexasRangers.com, or you can call 972-RANGERS. A great first week. The Angels coming in, the home opener on Friday, and that big weekend. And Rangers opening up the regular season, of course, down in Houston for 3 games. 2 weeks from tonight, opening night. Starlin Castro taking a couple of pitches wide of the strike zone. It's 2-0. Tampa Bay coming in right after the Angels to finish off that initial homestand. And Robbie Ross missing well inside, runs the count to 3 balls and no strikes. Castro chopped one right off a home plate that stayed up in the air forever and ended up being an infield single. Now batting with the bases empty and 2 away. And Ross misses high, ball 4. A 2-out walk to Starlin Castro. Second walk of the first 2 2/3 innings for Robbie Ross. You heard Mike Maddox talk about that first walk to Deanna Navarro being a bad walk, and that a guy that Robbie Ross really needs to go after. And this one not termed as quite a bad walk, but with 2 outs, you'd rather not walk the guy. But Castro, a little bit better hitter than Deanna Navarro. Dave Scherholz takes high and inside for ball 1. Scherholz, a strikeout victim to end the first inning for the Cubs this afternoon. And Ross bluffs a throw to first, and Castro scampering back to the bag. Rip and a miss at a high fastball, and Robbie's gotten into one of those little funks again where he's having trouble getting the ball away from his arm side to both left-handers and right-handers, the last 2 hitters, and that was the problem that he ran into against Navarro last inning. He was able to make the correction after about 6 or 7 pitches, and he gets a strike there. That a little bit more effective. He got that one down a little bit better. You can kind of see the wheels turning as Robbie glancing down and thinking to himself, okay, what do I need to do now? Pitch I'm going to throw. How do I want to attack this guy on 1 and 2? Got it high, couldn't quite get it down to the outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Robbie nods in agreement and comes set. Got him on the fists again. You try not to make pitching or hitting, for that matter, more complicated than it already is, but to simplify things, I think you have to say it's more than just getting the ball and throwing it. There's a ground ball headed toward the hole into left field, a base hit. And a little sliced roller that got right between Gallo and Alberto. So a walk followed by a single, and with 2 outs, the Cubs trying to make some noise with Scott Harrison coming up.
Well, the Cubs have had 4 hits in the game. They haven't hit one of them hard yet. That was just a little soft ground ball. McDonald's double was like a looping soft line drive. Castro had an infield hit. Valbuena had a base hit off the end of the bat. But you can get yourself in trouble with a 2-out walk. Now the little ground ball goes through for a hit, but it leaves 2 men on after the walk.
Now here's Harrison, who struck out his first time up there. And he takes a belt-high strike. Hits are even at 4 this afternoon, but the big blow of the game, the 2-run home run by Mitch Moreland back in the first inning for the Rangers. Harrison fouls out of play, and Ross able to come back now and get ahead of the right-handed hitting Harrison. No balls and 2 strikes. There's Mitch. His 3rd spring training home run. That's the most on the ball club. Ross a check of second. And the 0-2. Just off the outside corner. Robbie okays Pierzynski's sign. And comes off the plate inside. That evens the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now this is the pitch you really want to go after Harrison with. You don't want to go 3-2. Mike Maddox getting a little bit uneasy, or that about as uneasy as Mike Maddox ever gets. You can never tell. The 2-2. Just foul tipped enough to get it out of Pierzynski's glove. We'll try it again. The young guys on the pitching staff are Robbie Ross, foremost among them. I'm sure Mike kind of feels like a father and wants to go out there and help him along when he hits a rough spot and he knows he can't do it. The 2-2 coming again from Robbie Ross. And the count is gone full. Well, Ross running into a little bit of a problem after he got 2 quick outs here in the 3rd inning. The walk to Castro, the single by Schierholtz, and now has gone full to Scott Harrison. Harrison hitting 5th. He'll be followed by Leonard Navarro. Runners will be on the move. There they go. The payoff pitch is inside ball 4, and that will load them up. And Pierzynski going out. Mike Maddox not too far behind him, so they're going to have a little talk with Robbie Ross, get him to slow things down a little bit, get an idea of what he wants to do with Leonard Navarro.
The thing with Robbie today, there's no doubt his stuff is good. Every pitch that he's got he's throwing it well today. He just doesn't quite have the command. Having to throw a lot of pitches, just not quite as sharp with his command as he wants to be. Stuff is there though. He's throwing the ball well.
And while we have a moment here, Medical Center Arlington wants to fill us in on the Rangers injury report. And the most significant of late anyway, Kyle McClellan right in the middle of the screen there, had to be listed now as out for the next 3 to 4 weeks. He strained a lat muscle and hoping to get him back by mid-April. Colby Lewis on track to return probably the latter part of May, if not the first part of June. Martin Perez, of course, as soon as that broken ulna bone heals, he'll be back in his throwing program. Ripping a miss by Navarro, and it's 0-1. And then Joaquim Soria, the other guy that is just about on the same timetable as Colby Lewis, sometime in, hopefully in mid-May, mid to late May. Get him back and available to the Ranger bullpen. Navarro, as we mentioned, walked his first time up. 0-1 pitch, a late swing, and that's foul back. And Robbie Ross, as he did against Scott Harrison, jumps out in front of the count. No balls and 2 strikes.
On a day where I think Robbie would love to have been able to go 4 or 5 innings. He's got his pitch count up there pretty high right now, and bullpen's going to get ready just in case the inning continues. Have to shut it down right here.
0-2. High and tight, and Navarro sits down. That's not what you want to see in spring training.
I want to see Robbie get this hitter because my pizza's getting cold.
That's right.
It's hard to talk about a baseball game when all you can think about is a piece of Papa John's pizza. That's what they get for putting it right in front of us.
Check swing, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, that smell wafting up out here does not help my concentration level at all for baseball. Ross still working from the stretch with the bases full. It's chopped foul. We'll come back and try it again.
Don't see that very often. Hit the ball twice with the bat. Fouled it off and then hit it on the backswing. You ever chip a golf ball and hit it twice?
I have not. I saw that happen. Where was it? Open that? Have you?
Yeah.
To center field. A lot of room out there. And Craig Gentry back a little bit to his right. Puts it away. And a tough inning for Robbie Ross. But it comes to a close. No runs, 1 hit. And 3 left for the Cubs. Thanks to Papa John's and the Pizza for our pizza. On to the 4th. 3-0 Rangers. And welcome back to Las Vegas, Cashman Field. Glad to have you along. The Rangers leading the Cubs 3-0. And joining us now in our booth as we head to inning number 4 is Anthony Torre, who is representing Cholula Hot Sauce, co-founder of Spitball Advertising. Anthony, thanks for joining us.
Thanks.
Great to have you along.
Thanks for having me. It's a beautiful day for baseball here in Vegas.
That it is. That it is. I'm not sure there are many bad days up here, but
depends on what you did the night before.
We had 2 of them last year, I'll tell you that. It was freezing last year.
That's right. I didn't make that last year. I understand it was a little windy and cool.
So we're so happy to be here representing Cholula Hot Sauce. It's our 2nd year with the Texas Rangers, and they have been just fantastic to work with.
How did that relationship come about?
We had done our first year as a pilot program with the Mets and another ball club, and the program worked out fantastically well. So we looked to expand to some other markets that were good hot sauce markets, and definitely identified the Texas market as one of those. And contacted Guy and the team over with the Rangers, and they have been just phenomenal to work with. As a creative agency, we try to come up with unique and unusual ideas, and the Rangers have never been no first. They've always been, okay, let's see what we can do, and they've been great.
Good. Well, it seems to be a natural tie-in. Texas Rangers, Cholula Hot Sauce. I mean, that's if you can't push hot sauce with the Rangers, we're in trouble. we got a built-in audience. I know Tom and I are big hot sauce fans, and I don't know too many Texans that aren't.
And I saw last inning you guys enjoyed it on pizza. Which is,
I've never had it on pizza before. So we had the Papa John's pizza here, your hot sauce, and someone said, put the hot sauce on the pizza. It's great.
I'll tell you.
I never tried it.
I'll tell you, after working on the brand, people use it on, I say, just about anything. There's popcorn, chicken, seafood. It's great in recipes. It's great as a condiment, and people just love the product. And it's one of those, when you try it for the first time, it really becomes your hot sauce of choice.
Guys, we're talking about it today. I love the grill stuff, steaks and ribs and things like that. There's a recipe for Cholula hot sauce on ribs that's
Absolutely.
really great.
And you can go to Cholula.com/RangersRibs and be able to pick up that recipe. It's really easy, simple to make, and absolutely delicious. So
great.
Encourage you guys to try that out.
That simple to make really appeals to me. I got that simple thing going. And there's the link for you. Cholula.com, Rangers Ribs. Yeah.
What are the different kinds of hot sauces that you offer?
We have Chipotle, which is more of a smoky flavor, which is really good on, good on ribs. And that's what the recipe actually ties into, is the Chipotle flavor. There's chili garlic, which is really good on, chicken, meat, tacos, and I think you enjoyed it maybe on your pizza. There's original, which people just use on everything. That's really the basis, and that's usually the entry point for people into Cholula. And then there's chili lime, which is really good on seafood, and people like it on their eggs too. So it's really just a matter of taste. But like I said, once you try it for the first time, you're gonna be a fan.
I have a couple of green vegetables that I eat a lot, but I don't really like the taste of them that much. So I disguise the taste of the vegetable with your hot sauce, and it goes down a lot easier. And I get the benefit of the good nutrition.
That's great. Well, we say it's a flavor enhancer versus a flavor masker. There's other condiments out there that really disguise the taste, but you'll get your benefits of your green veggies.
Yeah, I put enough on so it does disguise it, because I don't want to taste the spinach.
All right, well, use a half a bottle then.
So, does that work with the young kids too? My grandkids, I'm gonna have to work with that. A milder.
I'll tell you, we've seen through our Facebook, we have passionate fans who really, express their absolute pleasure with the product. And some of the comments that come back are, I can't get my kids to eat breakfast, and I put Cholula on it, and little Johnny likes it on this.
Oh, great!
They love it on popcorn during movies, and I'll tell you, it's pretty amazing what people use, and they are really passionate fans.
Good.
Go back to the Rangers. If you go to the ballpark last year, now we have a Cholula wing stand in the stadium. You'll see us in their programs. There was a bat giveaway last year. And we're pretty excited about something new this year. We're going to have a Cholula flamethrower radar gun in the stadium as well, so fans can see how fast they can throw and how accurate. And if they're a winner, they'll get a Cholula T-shirt. So we're pretty excited about that new addition to the stadium this year.
That's a great tie-in.
I appreciate all the work that you guys do, in terms of, pronouncing it correctly. We've had some interesting pronunciations, so appreciate you guys, really embracing the brand as well.
Sure. We get our opportunity to sample it up in the press facilities where we eat upstairs. It's always a good supply of Cholula hot sauce up there.
We try to keep you guys happy. So what kind of season are we looking for here this year with the Rangers?
Well, people think it's going to be a challenge because we've lost some good players, but we've added some really good players, and there's a lot of great players coming back from last year. I think that the toughest part is not how good the Rangers are going to be, it's how much our division has improved.
Yeah.
The A's were a much improved young team last year. Seattle's added 4 veteran bats this year to go with their young players, and I wouldn't be surprised if they're a contender too. And Angels, everybody thought the Angels would run away with it last year. They didn't come in even second place. They've added some key players this year. People think they're going to be better. So I think it's going to be a really tough division, one of the best divisions in baseball. And I think the Rangers should be right there in the middle of it.
Good.
Now, Anthony, what are some of the exciting things coming up? We're going to have exciting Ranger baseball all year long out at the ballpark. What have you got coming up with Cholula out at Rangers ballpark that the fans can, besides the flamethrower contest?
Yeah, we're in the stadium now. We're in all the concession stands. So when you go up to your favorite stand and you get whatever meal item you choose, you come to one of the concession stands, and there will be Cholula at the pumps. There will be Cholula bottles. So you'll be able to enjoy Cholula all season long at the ballpark, which we're really excited about this year.
Now, would fans be able to buy some to take it home out at the ballpark, or is that
That's
coming
up to
in
the
future?
Rangers.
That's coming up for the Rangers, huh?
But we're a majority in the market in Texas, in the Fort Worth, Dallas area, so they can go to any store, H-E-B and others, to pick up their favorite products.
Good.
And later this year, we have some exciting news coming out. We have a new flavor that's still in development, but I think if you're a fan of Cholula, this is a natural next step for the brand, and I think people are going to be really happy with this new product. I've had this opportunity to sample it, and it's absolutely delicious. So,
very good. We'll be on the lookout for that.
We asked our friends from Dairy Queen yesterday what their favorite item was if they shopped in their own store. What's your favorite meal using your hot sauce?
I'm the chef in my house, so I do all the cooking. My wife will attest to that, and she's happy about that. But I put on everything. I like it in soups mostly. It really gives it a nice punch. And being on the East, we're from the East Coast, and our grilling season's coming up pretty soon, so you'll see those bottles in my house, those wooden caps floating around the grilling station. So,
well, very good. Rangers here trying to get something going. A couple of walks now, 2 outs, and Elvis Andrews coming up. Again, the links, if you want to get the recipe for the Rangers ribs, go to Cholula.com/Rangers ribs and download that, which is what I'm going to do on the way back to Surprise after this ball game.
And there's other recipes there as well. You'll find some soups, some nice pasta dishes, seafood dishes. You can also go. We encourage you to visit us on Facebook too. We have a number of fans that come and really contribute. And pretty soon we're going to be putting up some coupons for our fans, which is everybody wants a coupon, so we're going to be putting some of those up as well in the near future. So be on the lookout for those.
2-2 now, the count, or 0-2, I should say, the count very quickly to Elvis Andrews. Rangers with runners at first and second with 2 outs here in the 4th inning. They're maintaining that 3-0 lead, trying to expand it against Villanueva. And a call, 3rd strike. Rangers strand a couple on a pair of walks. Anthony Torrey, thanks very much. We really appreciate it. Look forward to seeing you out of the ballpark and using the Cholula hot sauce on everything.
Great. Thanks for everything,
nice to meet you, Anthony. All right, 3.5 in the books. Rangers 3, Cubs nothing on Fox Sports Southwest.
With great fastballs and more on the way in the minor leagues. Here's a look at some of the great heaters Rangers fans have seen over the past 40-some years. The best-known fastball likely belonged to the Ryan Express, whose devotion to conditioning helped him throw into the mid-90s as he approached his mid-40s. A prominent flamethrower on the 90s division title team was Rangers Hall of Famer John Wetland. He saved more than 80 games in 98-99. In the early 90s, Kevin Brown won 20 games throwing to Hard Straightman, and Bobby Witt overpowered hitters in 1990 during a club record 12-game win streak. Jim Kern's strong right arm propelled him to a Fireman of the Year award in 1979, and Francisco Cordero threw high-octane gas en route to Rangers' save record in 2004. This has been Flamethrowers in Rangers history, presented by Cholula Hot Sauce, the flavorful hot sauce with the iconic wooden cap.
A sun-drenched crowd out here this afternoon at Cashman Stadium, and we're heading to the bottom of the 4th inning. Rangers leading the Cubs, still 3-0. And Ozarka telling you about the new hurler to be right-hander Cody Woods taking over for Robbie Ross.
Well, Cody Woods is a Rule 5 draft pick, which means he has to make the team or be offered back to his original organization. So he's, every time out, trying to impress Ron Washington, probably looking at an outside chance of being one of the right-handed relievers, but the Rangers wouldn't have made him a Rule 5 pick if their scouts hadn't seen him in the minor leagues and been impressed by him last year. And most of the time with a Rule 5 draft pick, it's not a question of whether he's talented enough. It's a question of whether or not the player is ready to play in the big leagues, because that's one of the stipulations. You do have to stay with a big league team, and that's what Cody's trying to prove in spring training in a short period of time.
Pretty good breaking ball to Darnell McDonald. He could not check his swing in time, and the count moves to 0-2. McDonald, the number 7 hitter, leading things off, doubled his first time up, hit a soft liner down the left field line off of Robbie Ross. Outside from Woods. Robbie Ross, by the way, 3 innings of work, 4 hits, no runs, 3 walks, and 4 strikeouts. Cody Woods, who toiled in the Colorado organization, comes back to the plate, and it's fouled away. Robbie talking to Don Kalkstein down there in the Ranger bench. The ever-present Robbie Ross smile. Excuse me, Kevin Harmon down there. I'm seeing things. Kevin Harmon, the Ranger trainer on premises. Woods with the 2-2. Call strike 3.
Pretty good fastball right there. 92 miles an hour from that side winding action. You see why that'd be tough to pick up for a right-hand hitter.
Starting off the outside corner, coming back a little bit. That's one of those Swanson TV dinner freeze jobs.
I'm trying to think of the other pitcher that threw like that about 15 years ago. He pitched for the Pirates. Trying to work on that.
Okay.
You don't see many guys, though, that throw from that sidearm action that throw 92 or 93 miles an hour like he does. Usually when you start to drop down like that, the velocity drops down a little bit with it. A lot of sidearm, especially underarm pitchers, are in the low 80s to mid 80s.
There's a changeup from Woods. It drifts off the outside corner. Brad Nelson, a strikeout victim, his only time to the plate. Rolled over on that one and charged. Picked up nicely by Yanevas Solarte, an off-balance throw. And Nelson's retired. They're a 2 away for J.C. Buskamp.
Yeah, I think every nice play that Solarte makes out there, whether he's playing shortstop, third base, or second base, gives Ron Washington another little reason to keep him in the back of his mind as a utility infielder. Key for Solarte will be how well he plays at shortstop. And I think Wash has said a couple of times he's been somewhat impressed by the way he's played defense for him.
Buskamp ripping a miss, and it's 0-1. Yeah, and the thing about Solarte, too, you get a little bit of offensive advantage with a guy like him as one of your utility men. This is popped up on the infield. Solarte and Alberto, and now on the right side, Solarte right in front of Mitch Moreland. Moreland starts to run him over, but Solarte stays with it and makes the grab. A 1-2-3 inning for Cody Woods and the Rangers. We finished 4. It's the Rangers 3 and the Cubs nothing on Fox Sports Southwest. Now, folks, you can follow the Rangers with the MLB.com at bat for your Android, iPad, iPhone to get spring training scores and stats, highlights, and a whole bunch more live audio and everything you could want from MLB.com. Text at bat to 31826 or visit TexasRangers.com. But joining us now from Papa John's is Charles Poff, the Director of Operations for the Dallas market. Charles, thanks so much for coming up, and we really appreciate the samples that we are allowed to have.
Oh, you bet. Thanks for having me out here. Great day for baseball. And where did the pizza go?
Well, it didn't last very long. I would have eaten it during the inning if I could have gotten away with it. I waited till after the inning to have my piece, and it was delicious.
Very good. What's y'all's favorite kind?
My favorite's pepperoni, and that one had some pepperoni on it.
Right.
And I've never had a pizza with Cholula hot sauce on it. I even tried that, and that was great, too. So
it's pretty good.
Little looper, and that eludes Darwin Barney. That's something you don't see the sure-handed Barney have much of a problem with. A little bit of breeze, though, and some sun problems, and Barney couldn't quite come up with that. That's going to be an error on Darwin Barney. That puts Greg Gentry aboard to start off the Ranger.
Barney made 2 errors in 155 or so games last year, so for him to miss that ball is really rare.
Barney out there with his green St. Patrick's cap on. He'll blame that for the error. That can't wear green and expect to make those plays.
Charles, tell us about the Ranger 7 promotion.
Great promotion. We're in our 3rd year of it right now. Anytime the Rangers score 7 or more runs in a game the next day, go online to papajohns.com. Put in the promo code Ranger7, 50% off your entire order online.
Wow.
Fantastic deal.
That happened a few times last year, too, didn't it?
Happened 44 times,
44
and
times?
We're hoping to get 44 again.
Great.
It's Moreland, the hitter. And that's fouled away. Yeah, that was a very popular promotion last year. That probably got more raves, I think, from the fans that I talked to about it than any of them, because they got something very, very tangible and good.
Right. They got a great product. Lots of social media buzz. It was fantastic.
I noticed that you have a double pepperoni pizza that's going to be offered again. And since I like pepperoni so much, I was interested in that.
It's a great pizza. We've had it before. We're rolling out it again March 25th. It's our double-layered pepperoni. Fantastic. Soon after that, we'll follow up with the buffalo chicken pizza, which was a crowd favorite.
Whoa. Well, that's one I haven't tried yet.
Throw to second base and out at second. One-hop throw by Bosca. Ryan Strasburger, the pinch runner, he is shot down trying to steal, so that's out number 1.
A nice throw, but a nice play. Catching that on the short hop and still making the tag.
Understand, too, there's going to be a new advertisement coming out for Papa John's with former Ranger Kevin Mensch and Papa John Schnatter. And I had never known what his last name was. I never heard of his last name before. Papa John Schnatter, though.
That is it.
Wow.
Papa John, great guy. Commercial will be out soon. Also Chuck Morgan. Everyone knows Chuck, and that's all I can say for right now.
Oh, man.
So stay tuned.
I'm going to watch. I got to see Kevin Mensch.
Of course, during football, we saw Papa John every week with Peyton Manning, giving away everything.
Right, 2 million pizzas.
Yeah, Kevin's not going to be at that level yet. I don't think. Is he 2 million? I mean, he could probably get an extra million, but not 2 million.
Right, not 2 million just yet.
Mensch will talk him out of it, though, if there's a way.
Brandon Allen is pinch running for Mitch.
Changes coming a couple of innings earlier today than they did yesterday.
Well, every guest that we've had, Charles, we've asked them the same question you asked me. What's your favorite pizza?
My favorite pizza is a thin crust spicy Italian. It's on our thin crust. It's a double helping of Italian sausage and pepperoni. I'm a pepperoni fan as well. So it's got a little kick to it, and that's my favorite.
What's the best-selling Papa John's pizza?
You know, probably our single topping pizza, the pepperoni is a favorite, and then our specialties, the works, the meats, the veggie.
This could be a double play. Castro behind the bag for second, and that will do it. Well, Charles, Bob, thank you very much for joining us. We sure have enjoyed having you up, and thanks again for the association the Rangers have with Papa John's. We look forward to a long run with this.
We do, too, and we certainly appreciate it.
Great. Thanks very much.
Time.
Thanks for bringing the pizza today.
Oh, yeah. Glad you enjoyed it.
All right. Halfway through the ballgame, Rangers 3, Cubs nothing on Fox Sports Southwest. Rangers 3 runs on 6 hits. The Cubs have been shut out so far on 4 hits. Robbie Ross worked the first 3. Cody Woods came on and had a perfect 4th inning. Now he's going out to work in the 5th inning. Crowd on berms on either side. Foul territory down the left field line, down the right field line. Enjoying a beautiful sunny afternoon, albeit a little bit windy as we start off here. Luis Valbuena leading things off for the Cubs in the 5th inning.
Well, Buzz, we were looking at Cody Woods for the first time from that kind of sidearm delivery and remarking that he has nice velocity from down there that you don't always see from a guy that drops down that far, 90 to 92 miles an hour. And I mentioned that he reminded me of another right-hand pitcher that used to play for the Pirates. And within probably 10 seconds, our friend Jamie Newberg had texted me 2 names. One was Kent Tecalve, and Tecalve threw from a little farther down and didn't have quite the same velocity, but the other, he hit the nail right on the head, was Stan Belinda, was the name I couldn't think of. Thanks for that, Jamie. Yeah, you're right. They had almost the same arm action, and as I remember, he was a guy that was 92 or 93 miles an hour, too.
Yep, sure was. But you're right. From that angle, you don't see guys throw hard. I mean, over 92.
Not very often.
91 or 92.
And with the deception that a lot of them have, they don't need to.
Right.
I mean, you think of Darren O'Day. Darren, I guess, was, what, 86 to 87 miles an hour, right around in there. But a lot of times, it doesn't really matter what the radar gun says. It's what the hitters tell you. And if they don't pick the ball up and there's that deception, sometimes an 87, 88 mile an hour fastball looks like it's 90 or 92 miles an hour.
That was Ryan Rodabaugh, by the way, and loosening in the left field bullpen for the Rangers. Darwin Barney goes after the next pitch and skies one to left center field. Moving over. Putting that in his back pocket, Ryan Strasburger, who's taken over in center field for Craig Gentry. So 2 gone on a pair of fly balls to center field, and Starlin Castro will come to the plate. Well, Cody Woods has faced 5 Cubs, and he has retired all 5 in very handy fashion. Castro walking an infield single, and he couldn't stop his swing there. Kind of a feeble wave after he recognized it was breaking ball. A little too late to pull that one back.
You know, one thing I've noticed from a lot of the new players that have just joined the Rangers this year in spring training, Cody's one of them. Nate Robertson was another. When the writers talk to him and you see their quotes in the paper, almost to a man, they say how much they love being here, how well the spring training is run, and how badly they want to be part of the team, which speaks highly for the Rangers. It's not something, I guess, that comes to a surprise to us, but they've talked to several of the guys that are here for the first time and how much they've enjoyed being here, how much they enjoy their teammates, and how much they like the way Ron Washington and the coaches are running spring training. Without mentioning names or organizations, a lot of them have said much better here than where they came from.
Yep. It's always nice to hear. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. Woods back to the plate. Call strike 3. Turn Starlin Castro into a statue at home plate. Side retired, another 1-2-3 frame. We finished 5 in Las Vegas. Rangers 3, Cubs nothing on Fox Sports Southwest.
Saturday at 3 on Fox Sports Southwest.
Rangers on top 3-0 as we head to inning number 6. It would be Nervis Solarte as the scheduled hitter to start things off. Rangers 3 runs on 6 hits. And for the Cubbies, no runs on 4 hits. Solarte stepping in 0 for 2. He has popped out and flied out. Esmelin Caridad is the new pitcher for the Cubs, and he fires a strike. Kind of a short-arming right-hander. The Ozarka pitching change showing you the numbers on Caridad. Last year at AAA Iowa for the Cubs, 44 ball games. 1 ball and 1 strike. Caridad back to the plate. Took something off that, left it high. And Solarte now with a 2-1 advantage in the count. Colin Ballister, right-hander, now getting loose down in the Ranger pen. That's out of play to the left, and the count will even up at 2 apiece. Solarte, the switch hitter, now up there from the left side of the plate. Fly ball to left field. The wind will hold that one up. And McDonald puts it away. That is out number 1. Dakar United will face Julio Bourbon. Bourbon this afternoon has tripled. Drove home his 7th spring run of the year with that 3-bagger back in the first inning. He's also tried to bunt his way aboard, but was out on a nice play by Brad Nelson, the first baseman. Fouls that pitch to the left. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Gary Dunn back to him, and the off-speed pitch is a bit low. 2-1 now to Bourbon. Shows bunt. Julio takes it, and the pitch is outside. 3 balls and 1 strike. So Bourbon trying to get aboard here with 1 out of the 6th inning. Mike Holt, Ranger right fielder today, is waiting in the on-deck circle. Ground ball to the right side. That is into right field, a base hit.
He had no chance for that one, boy. That ball, even if he got in front of it, that ball was going to take a hop that was going to be tough to handle.
Yeah, you remember we talked about the firmness of the infield?
That came into play right there.
That rock hard, that second bounce with a little bit of topspin on it, shoots right on by Brad Nelson, the first baseman.
Well, 2 more hits for Julio. 2 for 3. Had a triple and scored a run in the first inning to go along with that base hit.
Like Jared Hoying is going to take over as the pinch runner at first base. And Mike Holt takes ball 1. Holt 0 for 1, a ground ball and a walk today. Out of play to the right. And the count evens and a ball and a strike. Mike getting the opportunity to play in right field today. And the Dominican Republic, the team that Nelson Cruz is playing for in the World Baseball Classic, will be playing, let's see, they start tonight, I believe, that's tomorrow night. And then the final game is on Tuesday up in San Francisco, in the World Baseball Classic. Dominican Republic playing the Netherlands, who defeated them first time they played. Rip and a miss, and it's 2 balls, 2 strike. Well, our Papa John's sound of the game continues this afternoon. Robbie Ross. Robbie started for the Rangers this afternoon and had a couple of long count innings. I guess, Robbie, that cut things short a little bit for you. 3 innings of work, but shut out baseball.
Yes, sir. Just kind of had too many pitches this game today, so just tried to do the best I could and keep our team in the game.
Robbie, it looked like you had really good stuff. It looked like you felt strong. At times looked like you had a little bit of a problem keeping the ball down, but overall it looked like you felt strong and had really good stuff. Did you feel that way?
Yeah, I felt like when I got 2 strikes, I just kept picking around the zone instead of just going right at them like I usually try to do, and fell behind a few batters, walked a few, and didn't really I feel like I could have done better trying to get the ball in play and things like that, but it happens sometimes. But just tried to work with the best I could and get it all done.
Well, the bottom line is you pitched 3 innings. They didn't score off you, so that's not too bad.
Yeah, it was funny because Greg actually said to me, he goes, they should have let you in there. He goes, you could have thrown the first shutout game with 260 pitches. I thought it was pretty funny.
How many pitches did you have?
I threw about 80, I think. So it was a little too many to go another inning, I guess.
You had 80 pitches in about 10 appearances last year.
I don't know. I mean, it was one I had to battle through today, especially I'm kind of battling a little sickness right now. So just a tough one to battle through, but I'm happy with it, I guess, because I didn't give up any runs, but, the guys behind me scored runs early like, they're supposed to do, and I just felt like I should have gone 5 innings so I could help our team out, but that's the way it goes sometimes.
Well, Robbie, you pitched in relief short relief out last year. Now you're kind of transitioning back into the starting rotation. How is that transition going? And, you must feel pretty comfortable because that's what you've always been as a starting pitcher.
Yes, sir. I mean, in spring training, it's always felt like, you just have to get your innings up and your pitch count up there and just try to work through things and get it all prepared for the season. And I think right now I feel like I'm on pace, just, as many pitches that I've thrown and trying to work in the zone and try to get strikes. I think that's the biggest thing. And I think I still need to work on a few things, but right now I'm pleased with it.
Good. When you think about going back to being a starting pitcher, Robbie, what is the one thing that you feel you need to do differently than you did as a reliever that, may escape most people's notice?
Probably work my changeup in there a little more. Okay. And, I got a curveball that I've been throwing. I threw it all last year with Joe Nathan, but it's something I want to work on and be able to, get batters' timing off and things like that, especially the changeup too. And that's something that I've been really working on this spring and trying to just bring those into my repertoire, I guess you could say. Oh, man. That's pretty good.
Joey Gallo just went moonrise. Wow. Goodbye.
But yeah, that's probably about it. I mean, good hit ball.
The Rangers brought Joey Gallo here to Las Vegas because this is his hometown, and he's put on a pretty nice show. A 430-foot extra base hit yesterday, and probably a 440-foot home run, 3-run homer today. It's a pretty good show for his family back here.
My goodness.
That baby.
Yeah, that's not going to get him out very often.
No. Holy cow.
Sorry about that.
Robbie, you ever given up one that went that far?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Actually, Paul Goldschmidt hit one off me, actually. Hit a changeup that just was a moonshot.
Pitchers, Buzz, you're just like that, too.
Yeah.
Pitcher never forgets the long one that's hit off him, boy.
Yeah, you don't.
No, the ones you have to stand there and watch for so long before it comes down, you have a tendency not to forget those.
Oh, yeah. Try to forget the ones that barely go.
Yeah, those don't count.
Yeah.
Robbie, is your dad watching today?
I think so. I would say so.
You better say hi to him while you got a
hey,
chance,
Dad.
right?
Hey, Mom. Hey, Brittany, my wife.
There you go.
Yeah, is your dad going to give you a call later on if he's watching this? And did he take notes during your outing today and call you and tell you what needs to be done?
Oh, yeah. I'm sure he's going to tell me, good job. I mean, you didn't give up any runs, but, obviously you looked like you were picking around the zone. And it's kind of nice because, having a catcher as a dad, it used to be a catcher. He tells me a lot of things and helps me out with a lot of scenarios and different situations. So it's nice, but it's also good to have someone there when I'm not doing well, too, to be able to just encourage me. And having a family and a wife that can do that for you is huge.
There you go. Well, Robbie, congratulations. It's good to see you get the shutout innings, and even though you had to work a little harder than you wanted to, a nice outing today, and look forward to seeing you as the season gets going.
Hey, thank you guys. Appreciate the time.
Thanks for joining us, Robbie. All right, Rangers now lead 6-0 as we head to the bottom of the sixth inning on Fox Sports Southwest. thanks to a couple of long home runs today, one by Joey Gallo and the other by Mitch Mullen. Rangers on top 6-0 as we head to the bottom of the sixth inning. And Carrot Tops, for all of us that are a little bit colorblind, that might look like it's the green of St. Patty's Day. But our Ozarka pitching change now. Colin Ballister, the right-hander, coming in to take over for the Rangers. This is sixth game of the spring. 1-0, that ERA on its way down now. 5 innings of work, and Colin Ballister signed as a free agent this past offseason. The Rangers spent a little time last year with the Tigers, both at the Major League Club, where he had 11 outings, and most of the work, though, at Toledo AAA team, where he appeared in 31 ball games. Well, Ballister from Dana Point, California, originally born in Huntington Beach, California. 6'5", 200-pounder, 26-year-old, ready to go to work. And Nate Scherholtz, the first hitter, takes a little bit low for ball one.
And Buzz, I'm sure every time one of these right-handers goes out there now with only a couple of weeks left, he knows that every pitch is going to be very important because there's pretty good opportunity.
Yep. The wind is going to drive that one right on out of here. Scherholtz gets one down out over the plate and drives it out. It's now a 6-1 Ranger lead.
Well, we talked about it before the game that there was a chance there's going to be some balls hit out to right field. The one that Mitch hit and the one that Joey Gallo hit didn't need any wind. I don't think that one did either, really. Scherholtz has some power, got that ball up in the air, got a good pitch to hit.
That pitch down there is right in a left-hander's wheelhouse, down on the inner part of the plate. A lot of left-handers hit that ball a long way, and Scherholtz didn't miss it. Now Scott Hairston will face Ballister. Hairston today 0 for 1, a strikeout. He's also walked. Ballister fires that to the outside corner. Right-hander back to the plate. That breaking ball is popped up on the infield. Joey Gallo looking up into the sunlit sky, takes it, and that is out number one.
See, we've got someone else playing third base now.
You're right.
Let's see, we've got...
That would be Drew Robinson.
Drew Robinson playing third.
Thank you.
I'll tell you what, it's not easy to keep track of the changes when you're talking pizza and hot sauce and guys are coming and going.
And Navarro's a DH.
Just as we said that, I heard the PA guy announce that Drew Robinson was playing third base, so he didn't know that there was a new third baseman either.
Pitch to, oh, look out. Navarro rips a hot shot, one hopper right by the diving Brandon Allen.
Yeah, that's about all Brandon could do there. And unless you're crazy, that's the only way you're going to try to field that. You get in front of that ball, you're going to be carted off in a stretcher. You get out of the way, get your head out of the way, and put your glove up and hope you catch it.
Otherwise, you'd be picking seeds out of your teeth.
It's a shot in the dark.
So 1 on, 1 out. Darnell McDonald now up for his third at bat of the afternoon. McDonald 1 for 2, a double and a strikeout. Good breaking ball from Ballister. McDonald doubled off Robbie Ross in that second inning. That was when the Cubs got runners as far as second and third with 1 out, but Ross able to work out of that jam unscathed. And Ballister misses high. The next pitch makes it a ball and a strike. We'll be with you again tomorrow from back in Surprise, Arizona, the Rangers' home base, as they take on the Kansas City Royals. That'll be a 6 o'clock Arizona time start, 8 o'clock, I should say, in Central time. It'll be Yu Darvish and Irvin Santana. Matchup of right-handers. We'll be with you on TXA 21 for that ball game. 2-1 pitch. 2-2. Ballister nods in agreement, comes set. That's fouled on a play to the right. And we'll try it again at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Rangers 3 runs on 9 hits. Cubs 1 run on 6 hits. Again, the 2-2 coming. It's outside off the glove of Jose Felix all the way to the backstop. And down to second base goes Navarro on what will probably be a pass ball. Again, the spring training tough on catchers, not only as far as calling a game, but also catching guys that they're not used to catching all that often. I'm sure that Jose Felix would tell you that ball darted a little bit at the last second. He wasn't aware that Ballister's pitch would do that. He knows it now, but it's a little bit late. There's a swinging strike on that breaking ball that stayed up and in. And that's out number 2.
First baseman, number 75, Brad Nelson.
As a ball as a hitter, you see that ball, you pick up the spin, you anticipate it's going to break down and out over the plate. And it didn't actually back up, but it stayed a little more up and in than you anticipated, and you end up missing a pitch that's actually a hanger.
It's out of play to the left. Yeah, if you're going to hang one, that's where to hang it.
Yeah,
that's so
really
high
can't
that you
can't do much with it.
Hard to get on top of that one.
When that ball breaks a little bit down and out over the plate, then now you've got the ultimate hanger, and the guy probably gives it a pretty good ride.
Chopper foul off the bat of Brad Nelson. The count moves to no balls and 2 strikes. Nelson today a strikeout and a ground out. Rangers will play the Cubs again on Tuesday and over in Mesa. That'll be the last of the 4 meetings for this spring between the 2 teams. Right now, the Cubs and Rangers have won 1 each, and the Rangers have the advantage here this afternoon, 6-1. A ball and 2 strikes. Ballister a check of second, back to the plate he comes. And that breaking ball hangs outside. It's 2-2. Just missed. The count has gone full. So Nelson trying to extend the inning. He's hitting in the number 8 spot. He is able to continue things. The 9th place hitter would normally be J.C. Boscan, but that is not the case. There's going to be a pinch hitter out there in the on-deck circle. That pitch fouled down. That got a pretty good piece of Brad Nelson. Chad Noble has grabbed the bat, coming into the on-deck circle to hit for J.C. Boscan. There's Noble. Again, the 3-2. Into right field, a base hit. Navarro's going to be held up at third. He does not run very well, to say the least. And Cubs now will have runners at the corners. And Noble will get a chance to hit with 2 outs.
Catcher, number 87, Chad Noble.
Felix out in front of the plate to give the defensive sides, if the runner takes off, what they're going to do. Chad Noble stepping in for his first at bat of the afternoon. And he takes a breaking ball low and outside. Noble has not handed it back in an A game for the Cubs this spring. One of the many minor league players that the teams have brought along on this road trip. High and tight, and the count moves to 2-0. Ballister back to the plate. 3 balls, no strikes. Right-hander having a little trouble now getting that ball down. Couple of big size out there for the 6'5" right-hander. Now he's ready. 3-0 pitch. Right down through there. And 3-2 now. So with 2 outs, Brad Nelson will be off and moving on the next pitch from first base. Ballister ready. Runner on the move, the payoff pitch. Skied to shallow right field. On run in for Holt. Pulling up now as he nears the line and makes the grab. That will do it. So the leadoff home run by Nate Sherrill. It's the only damaged inning. 2 other hits and 2 left for the Cubs. On to the 7th we go. Rangers 6, Cubs 1 on Fox Sports Southwest. Slight breeze out of the northwest. A beautiful, clear afternoon, though. About 80 degrees here in Las Vegas. And folks out there sunning themselves on the grassy berms. Rangers have had a pretty good day at the park here today. Leading 6-1 as we head to the 7th inning. And Kevin Roderick, our Ozarka pitching change candidate this time around for the Cubs, coming on. Roderick in the minor leagues last year appeared in 44 games. 2-8 was the record. And Roderick becomes the 4th pitcher used this afternoon by Chicago. Ryan Strasburger leading things off for the Rangers here in the 7th inning. Swings and pops that one up. Foul territory. Valbuena, the 3rd baseman, into foul ground, makes the grab. That is out number 1.
The
Roderick gets the first hitter he faces. And now Brandon Allen will step to the plate. Saw the spring numbers for Allen, 207. A couple of home runs, 5 driven in. He takes the first pitch low from Roderick for ball 1. Kevin Roderick back to the plate. And it makes it 2 balls and no strikes. Jeff Beliveau, left-hander, getting loose down in the Ranger bullpen down the left field line. Roderick's next pitch, that's rifled down the right side, but hooked a little bit too much. And we'll come back and try it at 2 balls and 1 strike. Well, Allen just out in front of that Roderick offering. Ron Washington, seen his ball club have their offense break loose in this ball game. And Allen takes low. It's now 3 balls and 1 strike. And the offense for the Rangers split squad team down in Peoria has broken loose against Seattle. They have taken a 3-2 lead over the Mariners. That ball game now in the top of the 8th inning. Rangers have been trailing 2-1 and broke loose for a couple of runs. So pitchers duel down there. Rangers are on top of that one. A chance to sweep a split doubleheader, split cities doubleheader. Jose Felix now will step in after Brandon Allen draws the walk. Kevin Roderick, a high set. And that ball is blasted to left field. Way back goes McDonald near the warning track. It is gone.
I thought he was going to catch it the way he was looking at the ball.
I did too. Jose Felix really put a charge in that. Was against whatever breeze there is now. And he drove it right on out of here.
Off the bat, it looked like it was a home run. Then I watched McDonald go after the ball. The way he was looking at it, made it look like he was going to catch it.
The shortstop, number 68.
Obviously.
Jose Felix, his first home run of the spring.
Rangers using the long ball today. Mitch Moreland with a long one to right. Joey Gallo with a long one to right field. 2-run homer, a 3-run homer, now a 2-run homer for Felix.
Now Gilbert Rodriguez is the hitter, his first at bat of the afternoon. And ball 1 is out of the zone.
I think some pretty good prospects playing for the Rangers in A-ball this year.
No kidding.
Look at those kids they signed last year that were playing in the rookie league. Got a first-hand look at Joey Gallo in these 2 games. I parked my car right behind the right field wall wherever he's playing and have about 5 or 6 dozen baseballs by the end of the year. Definitely get there for BP.
Gilbert Rodriguez, the 167 spring average. Ground ball up the middle into center field, a base hit. And Rodriguez gets his name into the hitting hat. As he grounds one right back through the middle. Rangers now 11 base hits this afternoon. 3 of them have left the ballpark. And they lead 8-1. Aaron Cunningham now will be the hitter.
Buzz, I could remember when we were playing, if you had a minor league team that had someone that was 6'5" on your team, he'd stand out like a sore thumb.
Yep.
Rangers are going to have an A-ball team that might have 6 or 7 guys 6'5". All the young Latin kids they signed last year, a couple of kids out of the draft last year. These aren't 5'10", 180-pound outfielders. These guys are big kids, boy. Chance to get even bigger and stronger. Pretty impressive when you look at the physical stature of these kids.
Look like a basketball team when they go on the road.
It's amazing. One right after the other.
Yeah, and it was an oddity, too. Not too many years ago, really. You had guys at 6'3", 6'4", to have more than 1 or 2 on a team.
Yeah.
And now it seems like that's the norm. Toward the hole, and that's into left field, a base hit. And Cunningham chops one through the hole. And the Rangers continue their onslaught here in the 7th inning. 2 on with 1 out.
Right fielder, number 17.
Aaron Cunningham gets the base hit. Garrett Hoying coming up as the hitter. The ball staying up enough in the strike zone that Cunningham able to go out and hook it through the hole. Rodriguez at second, Cunningham at first. Here's Hoying with his first at bat. Hitting 167 for the spring. And that sinker from Roderick outside for ball 1.
You're talking about the size of the players. I can remember the first year that I was a farm director in spring training. One of our scouts was in spring training watching the minor league games. And afterwards, after the games, I was sitting there talking to him, and he said, "Our kids don't have a chance. All we've got is little guys." I started looking around. He was right. It wasn't that they weren't 6'5". We didn't have guys that were 6 feet tall. There was just a whole fleet of guys that were, good little ball players. They were 5'10", 180 pounds. They could all play, but some of them were athletic, some of them weren't. Right. These kids are all, you can tell they probably played other sports. They're all athletic.
3-1 the count to Hoying. And that comes back for a strike. It's a full count.
We'll watch him get on the bus. We've got a lot of young players out here on the trip with us. Pitchers, outfielders, infielders. And it's unusual. We got 2 number 19s. That's a little bit unusual in itself. But it's unusual if you see someone get on the bus that's our height.
Yeah.
Every kid that gets on the bus we're looking up to. Well, that explains why I had Hoying hitting 6th and Cunningham hitting 7th.
He had the wrong 19.
They're both 19.
It's kind of like the day when the first time they had the Jackie Robinson thing where everybody wore 42. Who's hitting now? Number 42. Oh, okay. Drew Robinson, his first at bat, and a swinging strike 1. You're watching Drew Robinson hit during batting practice. He's no slouch himself.
No, he's a definite young prospect for sure.
He and
solid year last year in A-ball.
He and Gallo were hitting back to back, and they lost a few baseballs today. Let's put it that way.
The thing I like about both of them is it looks like they'll take a walk too. They're not wild swingers.
Now Robinson pops out to end things here in the 7th inning. The Rangers, though, get a couple of more runs. On 3 hits, they lead 2. Stretch time on St. Patty's Day. It's the Rangers 8, the Cubs 1 on Fox Sports Southwest. go to the bottom of the 7th. Ozarka pitching change brings you Jeff Beliveau out of the Ranger bullpen. And Beliveau, one of the left-handers, that's having a very good spring. This is his 6th outing. And he has made a pretty good case for himself to have a shot at that bullpen. One of the openings down there for a left-hander.
He was a waiver claim from the Cubs in December. Got some pretty stiff competition. One thing that's happened is we've talked about in a couple of games we've done is how well the left-handed relievers have thrown. There's a number of them out there.
Beliveau facing Tim Saunders, who's taken over in the top spot in the order. Saunders trying to check his swing and couldn't do it. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Beliveau just turned 26 in January of this year from Rhode Island. He was the 2005 Rhode Island Gatorade Player of the Year in high school. Throws a knee-high strike. And it's 1-2 to Saunders. Beliveau with the Cubs last year had 22 games at the big league level in his debut year in the major leagues. With 1-0 with a .458 earned run average.
I'm going to come out and check his. I didn't notice him shaking his arm or anything, but Kevin Harmon, the trainer, is going to come out with Wash and Mike Maddox. Evidently something's bothering Jeff.
And Beliveau, the way he was standing on the mound, looked like he was a little surprised they were coming out too.
I didn't see him do anything that would indicate that he was hurt.
Well, they must have. Ron and Mike Maddox must have seen something that they didn't like about the way he came off the mound or finished the pitch, and just going out to make sure. And you can kind of see what Ron Washington saying a couple things that Beliveau nodded about, and Jeff was probably saying to himself, "Okay, I didn't do anything." And Washington and Maddox said, "Prove it to me." I want to make sure you don't mess something up. Now it's 2-2 now. Got him swinging. But whatever he did, he's going to have a bunch of guys trying to do the same thing if you're going to throw it like that right afterwards. Saunders got on strikes. That is out number 1. Good two-seam fastball that he gets Saunders with. And now it's Edwin Masonette. Masonette for his first at bat of the day. Beliveau misses a little bit low for ball 1. And ball 2 sails outside. Pitch, and that bounces in. 3 balls, no strikes. Now, from surprise, Justin Graham has given the lead back up to the Seattle Mariners here. Seattle scoring 2 thus far in the bottom of the 8th inning after the Rangers had taken the lead with 2 in the top of the 8th. So Seattle back on top 4-3. Wilmer Font now in the ball game, trying to close that inning out. Three balls, 1 strike. And ball 4 is inside. Now Masonette draws the 1-out walk. He is aboard for Elliot Soto. That's the 4th walk issued this afternoon by Ranger pitching. 3 of them by starter Robbie Ross, and now the one by Beliveau. Soto, another minor leaguer, up with the ball club for this road trip. And he takes outside, ball one. That will elicit a visit to the mound by Jose Felix. Soto back in the batter's box. Masonette, the runner at first, with one out here in the 7th inning. And a strike to the inside corner. Strike two, knee-high fastball. Beliveau coming back to get the advantage in the count. Left-hander sets a check of first. Got him swinging.
Nice comeback after the walk.
Both outs in the inning have been via the strikeout. Masonette staying at first base. And here's Jeremy Chavez. Chavez took place of Nate Shearholtz in the batting order and in right field. And strike one is dealt by Jeff Beliveau. Left-hander, a check of first base. And the 0-1 pitch. Rip and a miss. Chavez doing a little groundskeeping work on that batter's box. Now he's back in, ready to go. And so is Beliveau. Fastball just off the outside corner. Now the 1-2 pitch coming. And it's 2-2. Beliveau, the 26-year-old left-hander, ready to work. 2-2 pitch. That is chop foul. Jeremy Chavez staying alive with 2-2. At 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. Rangers up by 7 runs, trying to gain a split of this 2-game series here on Big League Weekend in Las Vegas. And that breaking ball missed. The count is now full. Now with 2 outs, Soto the runner, I should say Masonette the runner at first, will be off and moving with the next offering. Beliveau, payoff pitch on the way. Hard hit ground ball by the dive of Robinson down the left field line. Masonette being waved around third. The relay throw will not be made. And sliding in head first with the second Chicago run is Edwin Masonette. It's now an 8-2 Ranger lead as Jeremy Chavez doubles down the line and left for the RBI.
Not a bad pitch. It looked like he had his fastball in where he wanted it. Maybe not quite enough in. Playing off the line, Robinson wasn't able to get over to it. Ball got down the line for an RBI.
They'll run in. Still 2 outs. And Ty Wright will be the next Cubs hitter. Bellamo, check of Chavez at second. Ball 1. A 1-0 delivery. Ripping a miss. Mariners still batting in the bottom of the 8th inning, down in Surprise. They're leading 4-3. Johan Jan now has replaced Wilmer Font. Third pitcher used in the inning by the Rangers. The breaking ball that hangs outside. Or I should say in Peoria, excuse me, not Surprise. Mariners.
Be a good game in Surprise tomorrow night. Rangers in Kansas City. You get to see Yu Darvish and Irvin Santana.
Irvin Santana, that's right.
Be a good pitching matchup tomorrow.
Little looper into foul territory. Brandon Allen on the run. Can't get there in time. It drops untouched. And the count is 2-2.
Darvish is having an excellent spring. Says he's a lot more comfortable this spring without all the media surrounding him everywhere he went. Wanting an update on every side session, every bullpen session, every game. How many pitches did he throw? How do you feel? How many games are you going to win? Went through that last year. This year should be a little bit easier for him.
He pitched against the Giants, suffered his first loss of the spring last time out, but really threw well. Limited them to just a couple of runs in his 5 innings of work. Well, it'll be good to see him back out on the mound. And Irvin Santana, one of the guys that Kansas City's hoping will give them a boost as far as their pitching staff is concerned, the starting staff.
Well, when you add Irvin Santana to your rotation, obviously that's a frontline guy. And then you look at the trade they made with Tampa Bay, and they've added 3 frontline starting pitchers. Wade Davis was pitching in relief last year, and we saw him toward the end of the year. He was throwing as well as any pitcher we saw all year. He was throwing 96 or 7 miles an hour. Of course, James Shields, the other pitcher from Tampa Bay that came over, is a #1 starter. But their young hitters start to come into their own with those 3 starters that they've added. They've got Guthrie, holdover from last year, right? Veteran starter. They could show some dramatic improvement. I really think Seattle's going to be much improved too. They've had good pitching, a good bullpen, a lot of great arms in their bullpen. They have 4 young hitters who don't have to be the ones that they depend on with the 4 guys that they've added. They've added Jason Bay. They've added Raul Ibanez, another veteran. They've added Kendrys Morales, Mike Morse. They got in a trade with Washington, so they've got some middle of the order guys now that can allow the other guys to maybe hit first or second or 7th and 8th and not be the guys that they're depending on.
Yeah, that ought to be a big benefit to the former Ranger and Justin Smoke too. He was put in a position where he had to develop as a major league hitter and be the #4 hitter at the same time, or 5 hitter.
Yeah, all those guys, Seager and Ackley, they're all good young players, but they weren't at a point in their career where they could be the guys hitting 2, 3, 4, 5 in the lineup to carry an offense. Yeah, they might someday, but they don't have to do it this year. Our division's going to be a good division. We already know what Oakland's got with their young pitcher. And Seattle is much improved. There's going to be a lot of good baseball played in the American League West this year.
3-2 pitch. Up the middle into center field, a base hit. Round third coming in to score is Chavez, and the Cubs have cut into the Ranger lead again. It's now an 8-3 Texas lead as Ty Wright gets the RBI.
Ladies and gentlemen, for Chicago, heading for Sonora, number 81, John Andreoli.
And now we're going to have another pinch hitter. This is for DeHonor Navarro. It is John Andreoli. coming off the Cubs bench as Mike Maddox goes out to the mound. Ryan Fearbin getting loose, left-hander in the Ranger bullpen. Andrioli steps in, facing Jeff Beliveau, who's had a little trouble now with the 2-out base hits. Back-to-back 2-out hits, a double and a single, have plated a couple of runs. He's looking to put the clamps on the Cubs right here. First pitch is a strike. It's 0-1. See Andrioli, this only his third at bat officially of the spring. 1 for 2. Beliveau missing just off the plate outside. And the count is even at 1-1. Pretty good breaking ball, but Andrioli able to check his swing. 2 balls and a strike. You know, what breeze we had has died down now. Flags are hanging limply out in the outfield. Warm afternoon, a very comfortable day as you look at Old Glory out there. Didn't know if he wanted to, and by the time he figured it out, John Andrioli couldn't catch up with a fastball. 2-2. Jeff Beliveau ready. The left-hander deals. Got him swinging. Beliveau ends up striking out the side, but in between the first and last outs, gave up a couple of runs on 2 hits and a walk. We're going to the 8th inning here in Las Vegas. The Rangers 8 and the Cubs 3 on Fox Sports Southwest. Texas Rangers baseball on Fox Sports Southwest is brought to you by Medical Center Arlington, proud to serve as the official hospital of the Texas Rangers. By Papa John's, better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. By Captain Morgan, to life, love, and loot, raise a glass always in moderation. And by Ozarka brand, 100% natural spring water, the official bottled water of the Texas Rangers. The 8th inning here in Las Vegas, down in the valley, and looking out at the mountains that ring the valley here in Las Vegas. Rougned Odor is the hitter, and he is facing a new pitcher for the Cubs, and that would be right-hander Trey McNutt. McNutt this spring, appearing in his 6th ball game. Worked a total of 5 innings previously. And Odor takes a pitch at the knees. No balls and 2 strikes. McNutt back to the plate. 1-2. Last year at Class A Hickory, you saw the numbers on Ronan Odor. That is out of play down the left side, and we'll try it again at a ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, Odor is only 19 years old. He's a good young middle infield prospect. He's already played a couple of years in the minor leagues. Played a full season in Hickory last year. Ball jumps off his bat pretty good, too. I was watching him in batting practice. Not a very big guy, but not just a little slap hitter either.
And he's gone here on strikes. You can't catch up with that high fastball. That's 1 away for Trey McNutt. And for the Rangers, the DH spot is coming up now, and Chuck Moorman. Moorman, a catcher, is catcher by trade, is taken over for Elvis Andrus. And the pitch is a little bit low. Moorman, 250 this spring. Looks at a strike. That evens things up. Last season with the Rookie League Arizona League Rangers, 207 the average for Moorman. That's a bit low, and it's 2-1. Yeah, the final from Peoria down to the southeast of us here. 4-3, the Mariners defeat the Rangers split squad this afternoon. Two and 2 down to Moorman. Like Wilmer Font in relief. Lost that ball game. Gave up a couple of runs to the Mariners in the 8th inning. Michael Kirkman started that game down south and went 3 innings. You heard Mike Maddox say we're going to stretch out Kirkman a little bit, see what happened. And Kirkman responded by having 3 perfect innings against the Mariners. Swing and a miss. And Moorman gone on strikes. Back-to-back punch-outs for McKnight. 2 gone for Ryan Strasburger.
Well, all the reporters are going to be saying today, asking the question, is Michael Kirkman a starting rotation candidate now?
Yeah. When we were talking to Mike, he didn't seem like he ruled out much.
No. Well, you know, of course, Michael Kirkman was the Rangers minor league pitcher of the year as a starter. He's pretty much settled into a relief role right now. Nothing wrong with stretching out your relievers a little bit. As Wash has said, he doesn't want specialists out there. He doesn't want a reliever that's only going to come in and face a couple of hitters. He wants them to be able to pitch a couple of innings if he needs them to do that.
Right.
And so pitching 3 innings will get Michael Kirkman ready in case that role presents itself when the season starts.
Oh, and 2 the count. Out of play to the right. Maybe one of the big headlines down there. Jeff Baker dropped below 500 with his batting average today. Went 1 for 3.
1 for 3, yeah. It's pretty tough to maintain a 500 batting average.
He's down to 488 now. Boy, he has had some kind of spring. High drive, right center field. That is going to fall for a base hit. Well, Strasburger with a 2-out single to center field. He is aboard, and Brandon Allen now stepping to the plate. Rangers Rangers with a baker's dozen worth of hits here this afternoon. Allen takes a strike at the knees. It's 0-1. Brandon came on as a hitter his last time up in the 7th inning and walked, came around to score on Jose Felix 2-run home run. Allen going the other way and towering fly ball down the left field line. And that will do it. So the Rangers get a 2-out hit, can't do anything with it. And we finished 7.5 in Las Vegas. It's the Rangers 8 and the Cubs 3 on Fox Sports Southwest. Rangers fans, Rangers season ticket plans offer the best seat locations, and you get savings up to 41% off gate prices. Full and half season tickets come with fantastic benefits, including the priority opportunity to purchase postseason ticket strips. Order by 8 o'clock tonight, and you can include opening day in your plan. Learn more at TexasRangers.com. And the Rangers take a 5-run advantage into the bottom of the 8th inning. 13 hits for Texas today, 9 for the Cubs. Ryan Fearabend has come on out of the Ranger bullpen. Left-hander, 27-year-old. The Ozarka pitching change for this inning. Last season at AAA Louisville. 7 innings of work. Fearabend, a lot of arm issues since 2009, really. This is a little bit low for ball 1.
Well, with Robbie pitching 3 innings, the other scheduled guys were Woods, Ballister, and Beliveau. There's a couple of extra innings today.
Yep.
So it's a good opportunity for a couple of guys to get noticed. Ryan's the first one. Someone's going to pitch the 9th inning. That usually is listed on the spring training roster as a JIC, just in case.
And ball 4 is inside. A 4-pitch walk. And Ryan Fearabend walks Yarnell McDonald to start things off. And now Brad Nelson will come up. Fearabend, originally property of the Seattle Mariners, made his major league debut back in 2006. Spent 4 games in the major leagues in 06, was up for 13 games the next year, and then in 08 spent 8 games with him. Snap throw to first and Fairbairn showing you a pretty good move to first. Brad Nelson, the hitter, 1 for 3, as you will note. Five straight balls now thrown by Fairbairn. Ryan, 28 this coming August, from Cleveland, Ohio. Lives now in Strongsville, Ohio. And misses outside. It is 2 balls, no strikes. Ryan sat out the entire 2009 season. Had Tommy John surgery in March of that year. Came back and pitched in 23 games the next year for the Mariners. Hadn't gotten back to the big leagues until an opportunity with the Rangers. And a swing and a miss, and it's 2-1. Fairbairn ready. A rip and a miss by Brad Nelson. It's 2-2. Last year, Fairbairn had a minor league deal with the Cincinnati Reds organization. That's when he was pitching in Louisville for those 7 ball games. Check swing, and the pitch is high. The count is full. Payoff pitch. Foul back. Again, the 3-2 coming from Fairbairn. Right center field. Long run into the gap goes Strasburger to run it down. And making the turn, coming back to first base all the way, is Darnell McDonald. And Ryan Strasburger able to run that down in the gap. A pretty good piece of running for the young center fielder.
He had to go a long way to catch it. Well, it was hit pretty well. Nelson's got a lot of power. Might have gone a little farther if he hit it early in the game when the wind was blowing out straight to right field. Blowing a little bit right now, but not like it was early in the game. But nice running catch by Strasburger.
So 1 gone, and Chad Noble now will step in for his second at bat of the day. Takes strike 1 from Fairbairn. Noble right out to right field. His only other attempt. Good change of pace by Fairbairn, and it's 0-2 to Noble. Still no balls and 2 strikes after the foul tip. Fairbairn never was a big strikeout pitcher. He kind of groomed throughout the Mariner system, coming up as a guy that could be a spot starter and a long relief man type of pitcher. But the injury kind of did in any thoughts he had of throwing real hard again, although he's come back the last year or 2 and felt better. There's a swinging strike 3, and he gets the punch out of Noble. That is out number 2, and now Tim Saunders coming up.
A good pitch right there by Fairbairn. A good fastball down and away. A defensive swing by Cubs catcher.
Fairbairn's first pitch to Saunders at the inside corner and missed off the plate. Fairbairn ready, a check of first. And he misses low. It's 2-0 now. pitch hit high in the air to deep left field. Way back and gone. Saunders turning on a 2-0 pitch. He drives it out of here. And that makes it a 3-run game. It's now 8-5 in favor of the Rangers.
Most of the damage today being done by the long ball. Fastball kind of came in toward the inside part of the plate, but on 2-0, I'm sure Saunders is looking fastball all the way and wasn't able to get it in on his fist. He got the good part of the bat on it, drove it right out of here.
Now here's Masonette for his second at bat. Masonette, first time up, walked and came around to score on the Chavez RBI double. Durbin's 1-0 pitch. Took something off and got the foul ball. It's 1-1. The Rangers with 8 runs on 13 hits. Action down in the Ranger bullpen, left field line. Rotobaugh getting loose once again. 2-1. Chopper toward the hole, cut off nicely at third by Robinson. And that will do it. But the Cubs come up with a couple of runs. The 2-run home run by Saunders. We finished 8th. We're headed to the 9th here in Las Vegas. It's the Rangers 8, the Cubs 5 on Fox Sports Southwest. Texas Rangers baseball on Fox Sports Southwest is brought to you by Dairy Queen. DQ, that's what I like about Texas. By Las Vegas, for all things Vegas, there's only one LasVegas.com. By Cholula, the flavorful hot sauce with the iconic wooden cap. By Capital One, the official bank of the Texas Rangers. And by the City of Surprise, Surprise Recreation Campus, spring training home of your Texas Rangers. Marcus Hatley is the new pitcher for the Cubs, and he faces Jose Felix, who looks at a strike. It's 0-1. It'll be Felix, Rodriguez, and Cunningham here in the Ranger ninth inning. Texas leading 8-5. They have out-hit the Cubs 13-10. And Hatley, another one of the minor league call-ups. The Ozarka pitching change brings you his statistics for this past year in the minor leagues. 40 appearances for Hatley. By the mound, behind second. Nice off-balance throw in the dirt. Brad Nelson can't scoop it out. And we'll see what they do with that as far as a hit or an error.
It looked like a looked like a scoopable ball for Brad Nelson, but I think anytime the ball goes in the dirt, the air will go to the second baseman. It's a nice play to get to the ball, but he's got plenty of time to make the throw. And I'm kind of counting on an E4 on that one.
Tim Saunders, the second baseman, and next pitch is driven to right center field. Long run back there. And a nice running catch by the center fielder. Boy, what a play that was.
Darnell McDonald, I guess, let's see, Brad Nelson, the only two guys that started the game that are still in the game. McDonald started in left field. I think that's McDonald now, and moved over to center field. A lot like the play that Strasburger made last inning. A long way to go, playing kind of shallow, but ran it down right at the warning track. Nice running play.
The 1 on, 1 out. Aaron Cunningham is the hitter. Takes high for ball 1. The ball that Jose Felix hit, by the way, was scored a base hit to start the inning off.
Oh.
So,
boy, if I'm the hitter, I say thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
If I'm the pitcher, I'm saying this is the big leagues now.
Well, you got a minor league pitcher on the mound, so he may not be aware of that yet.
Okay.
He will. That's one of the things you learn, I think. That's out of play to the right, and the count on Cunningham goes to a ball and a strike.
Of course, I guess right now this is not the big leagues.
No, you're right. It's a big league weekend up here, but not quite there yet.
Well, it's the second year that we've been here for the big league weekend in Las Vegas, and I have to say that the people in Las Vegas have done a great job putting these games on. The accommodations have been great. The hospitality has been great. Even though the weather wasn't that great last year, it was still a great weekend today. And yesterday, the weather's been absolutely beautiful. So from our perspective, it's been great to be here in Las Vegas for these games. Enjoyed it very much.
Out of play to the right by Cunningham, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. I couldn't agree with you more. You know, it's always an eye-opener, I think, when you come to a place like Las Vegas. You have so many things going on and handle it almost seamlessly. They have the basketball tournaments and the UFC fighting and all kinds of things going on. And it's like, nothing else is more important than what you're doing.
No. The MGM Grand, where we're staying, I was listening to some people talk on the bus the other day. They have 10,000 employees at that hotel.
That's amazing.
So when our traveling party of 50 or 60 come in there, that's like dropping the bucket to them. They don't even notice we're at that hotel.
Hard hit ball, but it's a tailor-made double play if they can get rid of it. And in the dirt again. And the throw for Brad Nelson not hung on to. And Cunningham very quick getting down that line, but throw was in the dirt. Nelson couldn't quite scoop it up.
Well, give Jared Hoying a chance to hit. That would have been a pretty easy double play and get out of the inning. But as it is, Jared will get another at bat.
Hoying, a strikeout victim, his only time up today, and he turns on the first pitch from Hatley and pulls it well foul down the right field line and breaks his bat in the process. Again, we'll be with you tomorrow night from surprise 8 o'clock Central Time. Rangers and the Kansas City Royals coming to you on TXA 21. We have Yu Darvish and Irvin Santana, and this would figure to be about the time that Yu Darvish would be expecting himself to go get into the 6th inning. Went 5 last time. And if his pitch count manageable, I would think that's where Yu Darvish would tell you he probably should be, with one more start to go before the Rangers break camp after tomorrow. Say one more full start, and then depending on which day he pitches in the regular season, he may have a half of a start. Pitch outside to Hoying. It's 1-1. In any event, it'll be more like starter going as far as you can, as you see in the regular season. Ground ball hit it up the middle. bobbled and dropped by Saunders, and everybody's safe. And that one will be an error.
I saw a stat that the Cubs had made an error in their last 5 games. They're having a tough inning here in the 9th inning. One infield hit that should have been an error, a double play that should have been made. You don't get an error on that play because you did get one out. Technically, it is an error, though. Got an easy throw to first base to complete the double play and threw it in the dirt. Now a relatively routine ground ball and a flip to second base turns into a base runner.
Now here's Drew Robinson for his second at bat. Yeah, that's what, you know, that throw that was in the dirt on the tail end of the double play. That's one of those ones in Boston. They might give the shortstop an error because he'd already gotten the out before he made the throw, and it was careless.
I mean, I think it should be an error.
I do too.
I definitely think it should be an error if I'm a pitcher and I give up a base hit and score a run on the next play.
Right. Yeah, Boston famous for giving catchers pass balls on balls that just tick in the dirt. Normally they're wild pitches.
Yeah.
Some of the Boston official scores said, no, that should have been caught. Should have been blocked. Which I agree with them.
Yeah.
Next pitch is high.
I think generally the rule of thumb is if it's in the dirt, it's the error on the throw. But some of those balls in the dirt are, it's just like catching it in the air. If it's a really short hop into your glove, it's a ball you should catch.
Check swing. Robinson takes it low. It's 2-2. Drew Robinson, the other Las Vegas native, along with Joey Gallo on this traveling squad. Looper to left field. And that's going to do it. Side retired. No runs on 1 hit. There was an error in 2 left. Bottom of the 9th coming up. Rangers trying to close out their lead over the Cubs. It's 8-5 on Fox Sports Southwest. Then we come back, and prior to going to the bottom of the 9th inning, let's give you the Capital One Bank play of the game. And, yeah, you would figure it'd be somebody with a local connection. It was. Joey Gallo just hit a monster blast out of here that cleared the 364 marker. It cleared the berm. It cleared the trees. As far as I know, it's still going.
I'd love to see where that landed so you could measure it.
Goodness gracious. That is our Capital One Bank play of the day, and that might stand up for a while. And the final, or no, I shouldn't say final, because I'm counting on things. The Ozarka pitching change for you as Ross Wolf coming out of the Ranger bullpen. Pitched at Double-A Frisco last year after signing as a minor league free agent last April with the Rangers. Wolf, a 30-year-old out of Effington, Illinois. This is outside and low, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Elliot Soto is the hitter.
Do it, baby. With the hangover. Let's go.
Soto, a strikeout in his only plate appearance. And ball 3 misses. 8,802 on hand here this afternoon. It's a 2-day total of 17,800.
Rangers had a huge crowd yesterday for the Dodgers. Over 10,000 people, they said.
Wolf off the mound will take it to the bag himself as Brandon Allen had made a break toward the ball. So that's a play that won't get messed up in spring training because it's something you work on every day in pitcher's fielding practice. 1 week into the regular season, I'll guarantee you that play will be messed up.
By some teams.
Ron Washington, Mike Maddox, and Dave Anderson all applauding the appropriate fundamental play by Ross Wolf and company. Now, one away. Joermin Chavez is the hitter. Chavez drove in a run with a double to left field his last time up. Wolf with a breaking ball that stays high for ball 1. Ross Wolf originally came to the major leagues back in 2007 with the then Florida Marlins. Appeared in 14 ball games with Florida that year. Spent some time over with Oakland and appeared in 11 ball games with the Athletics in 2010. 1-0 pitch. Cue shot. And that breaks the cup out of the end of the back. Joermin Chavez. I think he did that yesterday, didn't he?
Someone did it yesterday. I'm not sure who it was.
I thought it might have been him because it was later in the game, and that swing into the same reaction today from him. It was either him or somebody that reacted the same way. Like, what did I just do?
When only that little bit comes off the end of the bat, you can still use that bat. A little chip that came off. If you hit the ball there, it's not going anywhere anyway. So you still got the good part of the bat.
That's right.
And you probably got maybe a half an ounce lighter bat.
That's true.
Give you a little better bat speed.
1 ball, 1 strike. Ross Wolf trying to close things down here in Las Vegas. Good breaking ball. That nibbles on the outside corner for strike 2. Chavez waiting. Wolf is ready. Call strike 3. Chavez knew it. The Wolf gets the punch out. 2 away. And Ty Wright, the last hope for the Cubs. Good pitch from Ross Wolf. Wright 1 for 1, an RBI single, his only trip to the plate. He takes a strike. Wolf okays the sign, the 0-1. And don't forget, fans, if you want to see the Rangers, you've got an opportunity to see them against the Mexico City Red Devils on the 28th at Rangers Ballpark. Thursday night game, a 7:05 start, and then Friday and Saturday, the 29th and 30th, down in San Antonio. Friday night, the 29th, a 7:05 start, and a 1:05 start on Saturday. Well, the Rangers open the season the following night down in Houston at Minute Maid Park. Tickets still available for those San Antonio games down in the Alamo Dome. First time that baseball has ever been played in what we are told are going to be cozy confines of the dome. Hard hit ball, knocked down nicely, picked up a throw, not in time.
Good try. Hard hit ball. Nice job to knock it down, and a great try to throw him out. Couldn't quite get it done. Gilda Rodriguez playing shortstop right now. Made a nice try. If that ground ball to second was a base hit, I know that's a base hit.
If there's not, there needs to be an investigation.
Yes, there does.
It's all right, getting down the line pretty well. Gilda Rodriguez not quite able to get him, but a nice play to make it that close. John Andrioli up for his second at bat. He struck out first time he came to the plate. Breaking ball is just a little bit low. 1-0. Good tailing fastball got him under the fist. And it's 1 ball, 1 strike. You know, people have wanted to find out who's going to be the opening day pitcher. Well, if you look at the way things are going right now, yesterday, Matt Harrison pitched 5 innings. Tomorrow, it's going to be Yu Darvish, and those figure to be 1-2 in some respect. There's a shot to right field for a base hit. Stopping at second is Ty Wright, and all of a sudden, the Cubs have the tying runs aboard for Darnell McDonald. So Andrioli going the other way with a base hit. And Russ Wolf trying to figure out how to get that final out here in the 9th inning. But it would figure that unless things change dramatically, that would probably be the lineup going in, where Matt Harrison would pitch 2 weeks from tonight, and he would be followed on Tuesday by Yu Darvish. And then anybody's guess, really. Good breaking ball in the outside corner.
Yeah, with the off days, you can kind of do whatever you want. The Rangers, though, over the years have not skipped people's turns in the rotation. I don't know what they'll do this year, but generally the guys in the rotation will get extra days off with off days. Some teams will skip a spot in the rotation to keep everybody else on a 5-day rotation, but that hasn't been our history anymore.
It'll be interesting to see with the 2 off days in the first 3 days of the season or 4 days of the season what they do, because with the 5-man rotation and the 5th spot not being certain, you may want to skip that 5th spot one time.
That's definitely possible.
Another breaking ball, and that's a bit low. It's 2-1. Well, that jersey,
Chad
number
Bell,
19, he's getting a lot of work out, that 19. It's a third different person.
Unless they've changed names on one of the uniforms, there's 3 number 19s here today. Sometimes you might see a 3 number 87, but not 3 number 19s.
Yeah. That's out of play, and that's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Maybe 19's a lucky number.
Yeah, they're all kids from the minor league camp. I guess you have to duplicate numbers unless you go to 3 digits.
Yeah.
We must have, I don't know how many we've got in minor league camp. We must have 100, though, huh?
I would think.
Boy, you're going bad, though, if you get a uniform with number 100 on it.
That wouldn't make you feel real confident. Now the count has gone full. Oh, with 2 outs. Now both Wright and Andrioli will be off for the next pitch. Darnell McDonald trying to keep things going. The Cubs have the tying run at home plate at the moment. Russ Wolf is ready. Runners on the move, payoff pitch, inside ball 4, and that loads them up for Brad Nelson. And it's going to bring Ron Washington out to the mound.
Well, this is a very interesting outing for Chad Bell, who's down in the Ranger bullpen right now. When the game started, if it goes true to form, then he's probably figuring he's not going to have a chance to pitch today if everybody pitches the amount of innings that you anticipate. But when that doesn't happen, now he gets to warm up after 3.5 hours and come in with 2 outs, the bases loaded, and the game on the line. He got a chance to get a save here today. Good opportunity for the youngster.
Russ Wolf is finished for the afternoon. He got the first 2 outs on a ground ball to the right side, and then a called third strike, and then the door's open. He has loaded the bases, and Chad Bell coming on while he takes his warm-up tosses. We'll take a timeout. Right back on Fox Sports Southwest. A 24-year-old left-hander Chad Bell on to see if he can get the final out. He inherits a bases-loaded 2-out jam. Rangers leading by 3 here in the bottom of the 9th inning, and Brad Nelson is the hitter. Nelson today is 1 for 4. Bell's first pitch. Breaking ball that bends in and over for strike 1. Chad Bell last year had 3 stops in the Ranger organization. Myrtle Beach, then Frisco, and finished the year off at Round Rock. He was a starter in Round Rock and went 5-5 for the Express. Another breaking ball. It's 0-2.
Got a pretty good idea what he's doing out there with the game on the line. Keep the ball away from the big left-hand hitter.
Jose Felix with the signs and Bell ready. The 0-2 pitch on the way. Missed with the fastball, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. For our Dallas audience now, we are going to switch over to Dallas Mavericks basketball. One ball, 2 strikes the count. Chad Bell trying to nail things down. Brad Nelson, the hitter, the pitch on the way. Breaking ball, got him swinging. Chad Bell comes in and gets the big strikeout with the bases full. And the Rangers split the 2-game series up here against the Cubs. 8-5 is the final. The Rangers win it. Chad Bell gets the last out of the ball game. And, Tom, that was a little more exciting than we needed to have, huh?
Well, Chad Bell knew what he was doing. He came in with the game on the line and got the job done. Good job, Chad.
That'll do it. So for Tom Grieve, this is Steve.
The following is a presentation of